together to form an alliance to fight deadly pandemic coronavirus, or the COVID-19. It's no longer news that the world is fighting against the deadly virus that is no longer a respecter of age, class, and status, as it has affected the world leaders, entertainers, socialites, the rich and the poor. Over 228,385 cases and over 9,357 deaths recorded in the world from COVID-19. Here on African Patriot Radio, we will be giving you 20 tips in preventing and protecting you from the deadly epidemic. 1. Wash your hands properly with water and antiseptic soap, or use a sanitizer. Use medical masks while in public places. 3. Do not come in physical contact with those infected. 4. Avoid touching your face, eyes, nose, and other sensitive parts of your body with unwashed hands. 5. Stay at home if you're not feeling well. 6. When coughing or sneezing, use a tissue and dispose afterwards. 7. Always clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces like chairs, tables, door knobs, etc. 8. Cover your nose with a handkerchief or tissue when someone around you sneezes. 9. Avoid overloaded commercial vehicles. 10. Avoid populated center. 11. Sweaty body contact or sharing clothes you aren't sure are properly washed. Please avoid them. 12. Drink plenty of hot or warm water. 13. If you have a high fever, cover yourself with a blanket. 14. Avoid drinking too much of ice water. 15. Do lots of exercises. 16. Try to eat ginger or add them to your meal. It generates heat in the body. 17. Avoid sharing objects or accessories like earphones without cleaning or disinfecting them. 18. Avoid eating in unhygienic places or areas. 19. Avoid cold environments where it is possible for the virus to thrive. Finally, the most common thing we touch is our phone. Always make sure that you clean the surfaces of your phones with wipes, sterilizing agents, or alcohol. These are some helpful ways of preventing coronavirus. Please call the emergency line for support and inquiries if you reside in Nigeria. The numbers to call is 080-097-000-010. This is brought to you by African Patriot Radio. I am Josephine Paul.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen. Jude Ojema Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
You coming in? Me? Okay. Okay. Are we good? All right. What's going on? What's going on, my people? Time check is 8 minutes into the hour of 12 o'clock. And in case you just tuned in, like I just sat down here, you know what it is. It is African Patriot Radio. And we have a whole lot for you this very afternoon, because it's Talks and All on African Patriot Radio. My name is May 11.
And of course, my name is Yao Bremen. You can call me the Godfather.
Godfather in the building.
Right here, brother.
Where have you been? The lockdown's been on and you are missing in action.
Childish. Okay, how should I start explaining this whole thing? You know, what Victor just said. Victor was like, when everybody they come, when they can't impose lockdown, you can't the show. I mean, that's how I work.
Someone said you've not been around. Possibly you started your own shop and you started making hand sanitizers.
Would you like to buy?
Dude, I like to sell.
Well, actually, you can be a retailer,
All right, so today on African Patriot Radio, we have a whole lot for you, and we'll just line them all out. As it is, you're in one already, midday special.
Mm-hmm, of course.
Ducks and all,
Talk to all.
Yeah, I was in the building.
Definitely. May's also in the building.
Yes, sir. And after that, we have by half past the hour of 12 o'clock, we'll have diet plan where you get to learn a lot about diet. And that will be food diet and food balanced food. What they call it?
Balanced diet?
Man, don't blame me. I just like to eat.
I mean, who doesn't love food?
Man, I love food so much. I call food bay. And we have Ememe Kanem and Immaculata Udor on that one.
And then also at 1 o'clock to 5 minutes past 1, Information Africa coming up. And that would definitely be with Elvis Oga.
The dude.
Dude.
The dude. Okay, so Elvis Oga comes through with that, and after which we have You, Me, and Society. Now, it's always good to talk about things that happen in the society, and on that very show, they always go down to talking about all that happens around. We have Fulfillment Nwaturucha, and you can call her Fuchi. And also, Elvis Oga shows up on that one, too. Oh, that dude is an MVP.
I mean, he's everywhere. MVP. I wonder how many rings he's got, you know.
He got a whole lot of rings, like 7 rings. He's the reason why Ariana Grande sang that song.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Man, I think
he's cute like that.
Well, I think I'm heartbroken because I thought that was the reason why she did that song.
No. She don't like bearded. Oh, he got beard.
So, anyways.
Okay. So anyway, after that we have African Fun Fact, and it's going to be going down with MM Kanem. In case you don't know some things about Africa, some weird stuff.
Weird fact about Africa.
Weird cool stuff.
Weird good stuff.
Before you start thinking they want to take me to some voodoo priest.
I mean, we Africans.
We Africans.
We're capable of everything.
Capable of everything. Okay,
good
so
stuff actually.
That will be coming up by half past the hour of 1 o'clock, and it will go all the way to half past the hour of 2 o'clock.
And then also at 2 o'clock down to 2:30 we have Whispers. Okay. I mean, if you love gossip.
Remember, it's just crazy. They call it whispers. Those girls are loud. They whisper so loud.
I mean,
they were whispering the other day. Even a dead man could hear them.
I mean, and then you call the show Whispers. Okay, now that show is going to be hosted by Fulfillment, Maculator, and then also Josephine Paul.
Star girl. Okay, she's going to be making that happen. And just because Josephine Paul likes to put the whole, cream on the crop, she's like trying to put the icing on top of the cake. She's coming through with the game show.
The game show?
Yeah, the game show.
And I think I might be on that one. I'm not
I
sure.
hope you don't lose, because you're representing all the men in this generation.
I'm definitely not losing.
Dude, you lose, we gonna disown you.
Okay. I'm definitely not losing.
Okay, so that one will be coming up. Game show is happening by half past the hour of 2 o'clock, all the way to top of the hour of 3 o'clock, and it will be done by Josephine Paul. I don't know who is going to be on that show, but I heard Yao's going to be on it.
Definitely. I mean, they're still trying to get my signature. So
your signature, nice. So how do we start this very day? Because there's a whole lot for you, and we don't know how to start.
There's a whole lot. Now we have to look at the whole pandemic happening around the world. That's talking about the coronavirus.
The coronavirus.
Like just yesterday, like we had some crazy figures coming out of Lagos, and then also what's been happening in Ghana, and then South Africa, and then also not forgetting Abuja, like the figures coming out of these places I just mentioned is quite crazy. And for Ghana, I think they have a little bit of a good news coming out of Ghana.
Okay.
Like the lockdown has actually be suspended by the president.
Wow.
But that does not mean that they're still not going to enforce
the social distancing and the other
social
things.
distancing and other things. Like schools are still locked down, market and then other stuff. And then also they've got days whereby they do open the market for people to go in to shop for foodstuffs.
You need to do that. Restocking.
You definitely need to restock.
Yes. Well, that's cool. We looked at the case and we found out the total cases recorded as yesterday evening in South Africa. Yeah, in South Africa we had 3,158.
I mean, that was crazy.
That is crazy.
Definitely crazy.
I hope it's not crazier than it was yesterday, because that is crazy.
It is crazy. And then also not forgetting the one in Lagos. Like you had 70 people.
Over what, 24 hours?
Like over 24 hours. And then in Abuja you had like 7? 7. Like they had 7 people yesterday. Yes. I mean, that is crazy. And then also the Burkina Faso, they had a total case of 576.
76.
Yeah, 76.
Well, I hope it goes down, because in Egypt they're recording 3,144 cases as it is now.
I mean, 3,000.
And not to think, if you look at other places like Algeria has like 2,629,000 cases total, and you're wondering like, hey, what is happening?
What is happening
with the lockdown going on? Are we recording more? Or is it that the more we're having more tests carried out, we're discovering many people had this thing, but they were just maybe in their houses and not really talking about it?
I mean, they were just waiting for that 2 weeks per notice to actually go up before they get to experience the symptoms and everything. So I think like this is the time where that 2 weeks notice, and then everything is actually beginning to like pop up for them, and it's quite crazy. And then we look at countries like Cameroon has 1,017 cases.
1,017 cases.
1,017 cases.
Wow.
And it's just way too crazy. And then Ghana has 834 cases.
Well, I just hope for the best for all of us, and I hope that we will do all it takes to, adhere to the rules and regulations laid down so that we can fight this pandemic together. And before you know it, it will be a thing of the past.
I mean, I just can't wait.
It's already in our history. We're not going to forget this very time.
We just can't forget this time,
The world.
You can just remember, imagine next 10, 15 years, you're telling your kids how crazy 2020 was with this whole pandemic and everything. We're trying to curtail the whole stuff, not to make sure the whole thing gets to spread more than the way it is now.
Right now.
So we really need to do something about it. And then we don't know how long we can actually stay indoors to make sure that the government and then the necessary authorities do something about this stuff. I mean, we don't know when the vaccine is actually going to be available. We don't know if there's even a vaccine for this.
Well, the truth is the cure is us.
I mean,
whatever we do to fight it is the first step of stopping this thing. But when we don't do it, it's like taking drugs for malaria and going back to a malaria-prone environment. So we have a lot of role to play in everything. But not to make people feel down, I think we should play something motivational for them, right?
Definitely. Yeah, we do need something to lift their spirit up.
Even if it's just 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Let's give them a 30 seconds motivation.
You never can tell what 30 seconds can do.
Yeah, man. It takes 2 minutes for everything numbers. Okay, but anyway, listen to this motivational piece and we'll be right back at you. And on Talks and All, my name is May. I almost said yo.
And of course, YW. Yeah, the Godfather.
I will rise. No matter the conditions, I rise. No matter the circumstances, I rise. They doubt me, I rise. They reject me, I rise. No matter what happens, I rise. No matter the conditions, I rise. No matter the circumstances, I rise. They doubt me, I rise. They reject me, I rise. No matter what happens, I will rise.
Okay, wait a minute. I hope that went well.
Welcome back.
Did it go well?
I mean, for me, it definitely did.
I will rise.
Like, I don't know about you.
I will rise.
You definitely rise, no matter what.
Speaking about rising, a whole lot of things have happened, and I'd like to touch on some. I know you have some that has happened
definitely.
as well. Now, in ABBA, we had this situation where a road collapsed, and it's crazy because when you see the picture, there's a picture, we'll put a picture right there for you right now. You can see it. The picture shows as if there was no form of land surface beneath the tar. And it happened somewhere around at a river layout. That is what they call the area, Ahia Udale.
In Abia State.
And it's done because of bad construction of the culvert. Now, I've ever talked about that thing. I said, I noticed they make the main road where the cars would drive on well. Then they leave the pedestrian parts crazy. And when water doesn't have an enemy and water passes through everything.
Through everything. So
when there's no culvert, when the rain falls, it's like it's soaking the ground and it's just causing erosion somewhere. And before you know it, look at how it happened. It was crazy. I was like, no, this looks like an earthquake took place. And it's in Abia.
Of all places.
Yeah. And just to think about it, this is something that is happening at a time like this.
At a time like this, I mean.
So are you going to tell people now, if you want to fix that road, there's going to be a problem?
How would you do it?
How would you do it?
With a lockdown?
Social distancing?
I mean, a lot really need to go into stuff like this.
Well, you know what? Speaking about social distancing, do you notice there's something about 14 in this country? The number is beginning to stand well.
I mean,
there was a certain time there was this law about they catch you doing it when you're not supposed to be doing it with who you're doing it with. You're going on a 14.
14? I mean, like 14. Everybody was talking about it 14. I mean, a lot of people were scared about it 14.
Yeah. Now imagine you want to walk into the presidential villa and they said you can't come in until you stay up to 14 days. Now that was the case. Really, I'm telling you. After the
I mean, when I saw the news like yesterday, Yeah, when I saw the news yesterday, I was like,
Oh man, they on some 14.
I mean, this guy's on some 14 stuff.
Man, I don't like the 14, but you have to do it if you
have to do it.
you feel the symptoms or you're sensing the symptoms around you. You need to, or within you, you need to go for the 14. Well, this happened when the president banned the journalists who covered ABBA KYARI's burial. Now,
The late chief of staff,
of course, we feel our heart goes to the family
to
as
the
well.
family, and to every Nigerian out there.
But you know, there were some things that happened there that didn't just go down well with the presidency.
I mean.
They were saying these people broke the law of social distancing.
They did.
And there was too much that happened there that just didn't go down well. So they just felt okay. It was related to the deputy director of information to the State House. That's in person of Ata Essa. He came and said, okay, this is it. You guys, all of you have to be quarantined for 14 days,
14 days
before you can be allowed to access
into the
house, which is good for the presidency and the first family, by the way, because they need to be safe.
They need to be protected.
They need to be protected as well. And you can't tell who or what happened. I saw the video
I mean,
of the burial.
The video is quite disturbing.
But you know,
the video is quite disturbing.
Most people did it because they couldn't control their emotion of how they feel, the impact, the person who they went to bid farewell to, Mother Earth.
Okay, now, in as much as we know how emotional people can get when it comes to death issues, but now we are in a situation, like we are in a time when everything needs to be properly conducted.
Yeah. That one is
so
there.
You can't use that as an excuse or yardstick to just lose yourself and then
act
go
how you
crazy
want.
and then act the way you want and then you feel is right. You know, like they said, you have to protect yourself.
And apart from that, you know, looking at the fact that these people, Nigeria sometimes can be a very sensitive place. People start looking at, okay, look at the crowd of people that came. They belong to this. They are from this. They are from this side. Then they now start tying it to, oh, some people are above the law.
Okay, now, should we talk about the Funke Akindele stuff?
Well, yeah, Funke.
When she had a birthday party, and then I remember our husband, JJC, had to do some videos and everything where they had some
online.
Celebrities over at her place. I mean, she was actually punished.
Yeah, but she went on the 14th too.
She went on the 14th.
Yeah, she had a 14 days community service that she had to do.
Pay
100K. That she paid 100 grand. The husband paid 100 grand.
I mean, so are they trying to tell us that people, like there are certain class of people in Nigeria that are above the law?
No, it's not like that. But you know, when you look at this case, now you look at the popularity of this person, the popularity of this couple, I mean to say, like they were very popular people and they had it on social media. And you know how people follow these people as idols. Now someone says, Funke did it. I want to do a party like Funke's party. I'm going to throw mine too. I'm going to have it over here. I'll put it here. I'll put it there. Those kind of things can happen.
Okay, definitely. It can happen because...
And you would expect someone like her, that's what it was expected, that someone like her will preach about this thing. But she did say something. She said what made me ask a question. If life is a school, or if life is a lesson, who is your teacher?
Who's your teacher?
Precaution or what?
You tell me.
Prevention.
Prevention. Okay.
So some people say, no, experience. Let's say precaution or experience.
Yes, experience. Precaution or experience.
Yeah, because, well, people try to think. But anyway, they can think about that for now. I don't want to think about it. I know life is a lesson. And she said, I have learned my lesson.
Yes.
She says, let me quote what she says. I quote, she says, this past few weeks have been a learning curve, but we must keep moving forward. And she goes on to say, my dear friends, coronavirus is real. We must collaborate with the Lagos State Governor and federal government by staying at home, staying safe. End of quote.
Okay.
Now,
just like what we were saying, okay?
Yes.
She is a public figure. A lot of people definitely look up to her.
Yeah.
Now, what about what happened on Saturday?
On Saturday. Tell me about Saturday.
Now, it has to do with the burial of the late chief of staff.
Of
where
course.
you had a lot of public figures.
Of course. And that is why the president swung into action. Right? Right now, these people can't walk in.
I mean, aren't they supposed to be punished?
Well, what do you know? It's still on. It just happened yesterday, right?
I mean, okay.
The federal government is still working on that, so you can be rest assured that my government don't joke.
I mean, definitely they don't joke.
But you know one thing they say about trouble? They say trouble is a snub. Trouble will never wake up and come to your house.
I mean, you have to go.
You have to invite trouble.
I mean, you have to invite trouble.
And when you invite trouble, one thing, it doesn't follow you when you invite it. It waits for you to go back home, then it comes knocking at your door.
I mean, we have a saying in Nigeria, is there trouble is sleepy, I gotta go wake up.
I'm telling you, this happened not some few weeks ago, or a week ago or so, where trouble came knocking at the door of the state governor of Kaduna. The El-Rufai's family had trouble knocking on the door.
It was crazy.
It was crazy.
It was
and Trouble really came to party, and Trouble did not want to go anywhere. Because even when they told Trouble, hey, don't worry, man, we just moved the party. We're having a...
Trouble like that, don't worry.
Don't worry, I'm here
cool.
already. I'm here.
I'll just chill.
I'll be here to when it's time for this. So what happened was his son, Bello El-Rufai, had this
crazy confrontation on Twitter.
Twitter brow. The Twitter brow. He had a brow on Twitter, and you know how it gets on social media. You have to be careful when you got a name.
You have to be very, very careful.
Yeah, so what happened was he had this thing with a lady. They were having an argument, and he went as far as making a statement threatening the lady of a gang rape.
Okay, now this is quite serious.
It's crazy because the mother is known for championing the cause of the right of a girl child. So,
and then you come out to say things like this?
But the mother cautioned him. She warned him. She came hard on him like, dude, you need to apologize.
I mean, do you think that is enough?
Well, he did apologize 48 hours later.
Is that enough?
The whole thing falls back to when you know you're wrong and you do what it is to make things right. That is the first step.
Okay.
So, but the problem is, already we had 67 women group that already said, nah, man, this dude has to face trial.
But, like, I'm not trying to place judgment on him or anything, but what he said was actually sensitive.
It is sensitive.
Very, very sensitive.
Knowing the background you came out from, right?
And then going all out to say the kind of things you would say.
Yes.
I mean, on Twitter?
It's crazy, and that's a place.
There's a whole lot of evidence, like you just can't deny this.
And there's something about words. Once you shut it out, it's like a bullet. You can't take it back.
You can't take it back.
Somebody screen grab that thing. One day they will bring it out again.
I mean, you never can tell.
Before now, United Nations had sent something, and it was now attached on this very picture of his. I think somewhere in Vanguard, and it says violence against women in Nigeria is almost acceptable. Or almost accepted as a fact of life in some cultures that perceive women as the property of their husbands.
Okay.
Now that is from the United Nations, and that is what they feel.
Are they trying to like attach it to the African norms and tradition or what?
That is
like,
why.
Because like I really need to understand that statement.
That is why we
need to
here.
understand that statement.
You see, the thing is this: we can't allow people make a choice for us, carve us, define us.
Define us
by a few people that they have gone through something where then they define all of us in Africa. I mean, we love to treat our women well. I treat my women well.
I mean, I do treat my women well. I mean,
well, anyway, they were trying to the women group were trying to have him face trial for these cases. They said Cyber Crimes Prohibition Act 2015. They say he violated, and he also violated Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015. Now,
so he definitely needs to face the law.
He needs to face the law. Now, speaking about the law, you know what? This very day, 2 days ago or a day ago, something happened that was very cool. That made me proud of Nigerian police officers.
I had to, I had to definitely give them the hand.
Okay, so there were these police officers that were taking rounds, as they normally do during the lockdown. They just go around checking things that are happening, like in society and all.
Somewhere in Lagos.
Somewhere in Lagos. It was somewhere in Ikoyi.
Yeah, somewhere in Ikoyi. Yeah, so, yes.
Was it Ikoyi? Yeah, I think it happened in Ikoyi. So they met this guy in the evening, and this guy was walking around. He was like distressed, looking for what to do. So they felt, oh, here comes a dude who's breaking the law.
Let's just give him a helping hand.
So they stopped him and they asked him, why are you looking like something is wrong? What happened to you? You know, the good thing about police is they try to understand why you are in that place in that way. So the dude now went on to say, okay, this is it. My wife is in labor, and I can't find any possible way to get her to a hospital. Now, you know, people get scared of the police because,
who wouldn't?
Some bad
Who
ones.
wouldn't?
No, but the police are your friend.
They can be.
You don't have a friend who's a police officer?
Do I?
Dude, you don't want to be real with me right now. But anyway, this is what happened. So the police officers said, whoa, is that the thing? Well, they called their monitoring office where they're being monitored and told them this is the situation at hand. This is also an emergency.
It's also an emergency.
So they took the man, they went back to his house. They took him and his wife to a hospital in Obalende where he was being attended to, or his wife was being attended to. They now went back to work. Now, to show you what was cute about this whole thing was the next day when these police officers were done with their duty time, they went back to check on this man. And behold, it was a baby girl.
Amen.
Man, that girl came at a time.
I mean, she did came at a time.
So how can you make a baby like that when they grow up to look at the police with a bad eye? I mean, the police saved the day. Superheroes.
Imagine the kind of stories her dad would definitely tell about the Nigerian police. And now that also bring me to the other thing.
Yeah.
The Nigerian emergency number. How effective is it? The 911.
The 911 number.
How effective is it? Can I just be in distress? Probably there's a building on fire. Just pick up the phone and then dial 911, and then they tell me, okay, we're going to connect you to the Nigerian Fire Service Commission, and then bam. How effective is it?
No, most times when you're talking about effectiveness of these things, people start asking questions like, apart from calling the number and getting the person, what about the person getting to my place? You know, we've seen cases where they said, we called the fire service, and when they came...
before I know the inside the car, we know if you come out.
When they come, we don't have water in the car. And Nigeria does not operate fire hydrants in different nooks and crannies or boroughs where you could say you just connect the pipe and then you do what you have to do. So that too has a way of affecting everything. But anyway, speaking about that, when these police officers were trying to do good and paint the country in good light, we still had this other one somewhere in Iwo, in Osun
State, yeah.
Who did another thing that was bad. It was like two angels. There are the angels who wear the uniform and the demons who wear the uniform.
I mean, like you've got two conscience. The good one and the bad one.
That's how the police officers before started looking like, right?
Like, okay, why don't you just do this? I mean, you're good. I mean,
the good cop, bad cop routine. Okay, so we had these other cops that were actually doing their job during the lockdown, and they saw a lady who was outside. Now, I was told that there is a mobile court that is supposed to try people who are found violated the law of the lockdown. I don't know if they didn't implement it in every state, but I know it's in Abuja here.
Yes, we have it in Abuja.
But this is the case. When they saw this lady, they rushed and started flogging this lady. Not one, but two. I mean, if two men should clamp down on a lady, are you trying to tell me something?
Okay, now the story I heard about this whole confrontation was that she told the Nigerian police that she was actually going out to get some medication.
Medication, okay.
Yeah, she was going out to get some medication, and I mean, I think like it is in their place to find out if she was actually telling the truth rather than just
attacking her,
lashing her on that and everything. I mean, that was way too wrong. For that, I think I'll just give them a little bit of thing. Thumbs down in you know what I think, or we just give them thumbs down. The police, and then the police in Lagos. Thumbs up.
Thumbs up to you.
Keep doing the good thing.
Man, look, for you to be a hero like that, your generation will always have a hero. I mean,
they will definitely be proud of you, you know.
All right, so talking about police officers, we had a case also in Ohafia, somewhere in ABBA, where there was an accidental discharge of which someone passed away. Now, this is the point. The police officer who was responsible for that bad act was apprehended, was picked up and all, but the youth in that community did not find it funny.
They definitely didn't find it funny. I mean, they went all out.
They were burning down the police station and the cars. And the worst part is there was someone who was making a live report, and he was busy saying that this cannot happen here. He wasn't even using the ish word, and he said stuff like they're going to open the cell and release all their brothers. Now, this is the point I looked at it as. It might be a community that is angry. But there might be some other people hijacking the situation and taking advantage to release some people who they do crime with. They'll come back and terrorize the community.
To come back into the society. And then at the end of the day, these guys might still go out and then do something horrible than what they did before that landed them inside. I mean, we really need to think before we start doing things.
Think before we start doing things.
And then also, I really need to give a thumbs up to the Nigerian army.
Okay.
I mean, they did a fantastic job. Just yesterday, they had about 105 Boko Haram terrorists.
Insurgents?
Yes, insurgents killed. And I mean,
you know what? Ever since the Brigadier General moved to the northeast, it was like that.
Things has been happening.
It was like that Commando movie where the person just puts his arm on and be like,
got everything ready.
I'm gonna go rescue my daughter.
Going to deal with these people.
So
I mean,
it's
thumbs
been
up
good
to
news.
them. Like good news. We're very, very happy. In as much as we have the whole coronavirus thing going on, we know it's like we are in a time when everybody is trying to pray according to their faith to make sure that everything goes on smoothly. And at the other side, we have some good stuff happening.
Good stuff is good. Speaking about good stuff, sometimes when something happens to you and they say, go and sin no more.
Go and sin no more.
Go and sin no more. That was the case with Governor Boyega Oyetola of Osun State, where he released 34 inmates.
I mean,
he gave them, hey, go and sin no more. Now, if you're one of them Muslim, because I can't tell if it's everybody in a cell or in a prison that's saying. But anyway, when you go there, that thing that got you there should not bring you back. Okay, so now this is it. He did it in accordance to where, the president had already given that we should try to decongest our
prisons.
They call them facilities now.
Okay, facilities.
Correctional facilities, just in a bid to curb the coronavirus because of how it spreads when people are in one place where there's no social distancing. So he did that in his own way to also help fight the pandemic, and that is a very nice one. Kudos to him, though.
Yeah, kudos to him. Fantastic job there. And then also something happened around the world yesterday when Germany asked China to actually compensate them for the whole
wait a minute,
crisis. I mean, this is not the first time I heard something like this. The likes of Obi.
Okay.
Equisili. I don't know if I really got the pronunciation right.
Equisili.
Yeah, Equisili, where she did mention something similar to this. She was like, I think it's about time China forgive Africa for the debt that Africa, for the loan that Africa collected from them. Let it be
a payment to this thing you brought to us. But everybody is saying China brought it. China brought it.
I mean, there's a lot of conspiracy about this whole thing.
Okay.
I mean, we don't really know the truth. But
all right. I was thinking you hit me with a point. But anyway, let's take a short break. We'll bring in a comedy skit because some people are thinking, well, coronavirus is here and what we need to do is just pop some overdose of chloroquine and it'll be all gone.
Nah.
So let's get this one right here. It's done by a man known as Tewase, the dangerous kidnapper. Okay, let's enjoy this one.
We'll be right back.
My name is Tewase Zune, from Boko local government in Benue State, the dangerous kidnapper. I'm the one that catch you. Today you are going to pay plenty money. Even if it's 10 million you give me, I will not correct. Except it's 11 million. You come for me? You have coronavirus? And you come for me? You want us to die? What type of wickedness is this? Why are you a wicked person? I will not collect your money. Does your money not have coronavirus? Rosa, give me chloroquine, 2 cartons. 2 cartons. Okay, make it 3 cartons.
Okay.
All right. We're back now. You know what?
Did you enjoy that?
I did, but the weird part is the Tewase guy, is actually celebrating his wife's birthday today.
Yeah, today.
Her name is Mercy Owoloyi Alechenu. It's supposed to be Owoloyi. Owoloyi Alechenu. Today is her birthday, and we wish her all the beauty in life.
Happy birthday to you.
She has a reason to laugh always, because this dude is a clown.
He is. He's a big one.
Okay, so happy birthday to you and yours. I hope you guys are enjoying yourself, and we are enjoying everything you are doing. That's her husband, Olga Alechenu.
The first day I got to watch some of his kids, I was on the floor. I was literally on the floor. The guy is very, very funny.
Man, if that was what kidnappers were like, man, people won't even mind if they were there.
Because I wouldn't mind.
You might end up being his babysitter, but it happens. All right, so you're still on to Talks and All on African Patriot Radio. Yeah. Remember, we have diet plan coming in soon, and it's done by Immaculata and But before then,
before then, I think we also have something coming out of the way from Ghana.
You don't want to tell me about the gist about the sanitizer.
We also have something coming out from Ghana. Before we go, definitely show it to you guys. Where a taxi driver had to, put, I don't know how he constructed the whole thing. He had something like a water bottle on his car and then some wipes where you can just wash your hands before you get into his car.
Wow, nice.
That
is like genius.
Business must still continue.
I'm telling
People
you.
must still make money.
And since they don't have a lockdown thing, he has the business going.
The guy just had to let me just look for a way and make money. Before we go, definitely show you that video.
Okay, but we should also start thinking in that light, because when we're done with lockdown, what else? We need
What
to
else?
imbibe this culture of washing our hands and
else?
using this hand sanitizer, even if there is no coronavirus.
I mean,
okay, we need to do these things just for clean practices for us.
don't be surprised after the whole coronavirus. But hand sanitizer, big.
And it'll go back. The price go back to 300 bucks.
300 or even 150. Buy your hand sanitizer.
Oh, no, like, we've cashed. We don't have change. Do you want to take a hand sanitizer? Nah, I don't need it. But anyway, we have to imbibe the spirit of cleanliness. So remember all the rules that you're supposed to adhere to in these times while fighting coronavirus. I'll tell you some. He'll tell you some. First off, remember, do not. If you want to sneeze, you can use your elbow. Go this way.
Go this way.
Like you're dabbing. Okay.
And then also, if you want to say hello to someone, you can either wave at them or you just shop knuckle.
Shop the knuckle.
Shop the knuckle.
All right, remember that. Always try to keep your hands clean and use a hand sanitizer. Do not use your hands to touch your eyes, nose, mouth, or ear.
And then also, whenever you go out, once you come back, please look for a safe place. Take off your clothes, put them in the bin bag, and then drop them somewhere. Go to the bathroom, wash yourself, and before you touch anything.
Anything. And if you notice you're having a scratchy throat, or you notice your temperature's going high,
don't be scared.
Don't be scared.
Just relax.
Relax. Get warm water drink, and if you see that this thing persists after some days, you know what to do. Hit the NCDC on the toll-free number.
And then before you do that, please isolate yourself.
Isolate yourself for 14 days.
14
and
days.
You would
and after 14 days, if you feel like, man,
I don't understand myself.
I don't understand myself. Don't get scared.
Okay, wait, don't make it sound too funny, man. This is a serious
thing.
It
is funny. It is.
But it's a serious thing as well, so please, let's try to make the right things happen. All right, so right now, we'll be giving out time. We'll let our video play so you get to see the dude with the genius taxi. The genius taxi. Okay, so diet plan will be taken up pretty soon after this video. My name is May 11.
And of course, I am Yao Bremen. You can call me the Godfather.
Oh, no more. Oh, that was why I did. The other question is young Calabua crowd. Patrona is soon, very nice. Oh, no more. And nice. Oh, boy. Yeah, ABC and Kayo. Yeah, be sent. But on the okay. Lava bakwa nsumi otima ye bakwa kan wa. Okay, time you okay, all right.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen. Jude Ojima Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen. Jude Ojima Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot
on African Patriot Radio.
Hello, it's a beautiful Monday afternoon in the city of Abuja, and if you've just joined us, it's still the midday feed on African Patriot Radio. The time is food o'clock. Yes, you heard me. It's FOOD o'clock. It's that time of the day when we talk about food, nutrition, health, portioning, and so on and so on. Welcome. The program is Diet Plan. And my name is Udo Immaculator. And like they say, you are what you eat. Okay, those words are not mine. They're words that my colleague likes to say like every time, and I have the very adorable
Ekanem.
Yes, it's Ekanem, and together we'll be steering the wheel of the conversation today. Today on Diet Plan, we shall be giving you tips for healthy eating habits. Amen. You're looking radiant this morning.
Stop it.
I'm tempted to ask, what did you have for breakfast?
Well, unfortunately, I didn't have time to have breakfast this morning.
Oh no!
I was actually in a hurry to get to work, so I couldn't stop for breakfast.
Now that is a bad eating habit.
I know.
And anyway, eating while you're driving or in a hurry is also a bad habit. So you're not trading one for the other. I guess there's a balance. All right, like I said, we're going to be giving you tips for healthy eating. And so when it comes to eating, we've built habits over time, some as far back as childhood.
Yeah.
So both the good and the bad. Yes, like one of the bad habits I know is skipping breakfast.
Well, you know what they say, breakfast is the most important meal of the day.
I mean, you said it. Okay, so what is like a healthy eating habit?
Well, I believe a healthy eating habit is a lifestyle or routine that involves eating a healthy diet.
Okay, and I'm tempted to ask what's a healthy diet at this point.
Well, a healthy diet is a meal that actually helps maintain and improve your overall health of a person.
Okay, so so we're going to be giving tips for improving your healthy eating habits, for improving or getting to eat healthy, more healthy, and then people eat and they don't know it's healthy. They have several habits and they don't even know that these habits are unhealthy. Habits like eating too fast.
Or eating while standing.
Yes, or eating everything on your plate. You know, it's funny because growing up, my mom used to be like, I don't want to see a single piece of rice on that plate.
You must finish your food. Oh, no, they did that to me too.
So I'm satisfied, but I still have to eat and keep eating, and I'm stuffed. And yeah, you should eat like moderately to get satisfied.
Well, it's a good thing we know better now.
Oh, do we? A lot of persons out there actually do not know. They are still always eating to clean their plates.
Well, that's why we're here, to let them know.
Yeah, and please, a lot of you're in a hurry to go to work and you're eating, you're standing, oh my God, I have to eat. You're eating while driving.
Well, like you said earlier, eating in a hurry is a very bad habit.
Sometimes it goes beyond just eating. It also goes like what you're eating.
And when you eat it.
True. So it's it's an entire package.
Exactly.
People are like always eating desserts. I'm guilty.
Okay.
People always eating dessert. Like, have you eaten? Yes. What did you have? I had muffins and
cookies.
True.
And you're like, how is that food?
Well, it's food to some people. And then skipping meals. Like, okay, we're talking about eating and ways you shouldn't be eating. But you know that skipping meals is also bad?
True.
Okay, we've said we're going to be giving you tips on healthy eating. How about we divide this into the very popular R cube?
So 3 segments then.
Yeah, 3 R's. First, we reflect, and then we'll talk about replace, and then reinforce. So about reflecting. Amen.
Oh, well, I think this is actually quite simple. When you reflect, you think take your time to think about all of your eating habits, the good, the bad, and just write it down if possible.
Yeah,
think
like
about your
keep
triggers.
a food diary.
Keep a food diary. That would actually go a long way. That would help you actually. So you keep a diary. Write down all of your eating habits, whether they're good or they're bad. Just put them down so you know what you're dealing with.
Yeah, because sometimes you say, "What's your bad eating habit?" and you're thinking, "Okay, what are my bad eating habits?" And maybe you've improved upon most of them. So maybe
Yeah.
keeping a new diary.
Would
Like,
let you
what did you
know.
have for breakfast? I had gari and egusi soup.
How do you have Gary and egusi soup
Okay,
in the
I'll
morning?
I just said, for instance, okay, let's say for breakfast I had, do write before you eat, right after you eat. So you're writing. I had half a loaf of bread, or some people have an entire loaf.
Half a loaf.
Me and you're not supposed to take more than 2 slices,
Oh, wow.
right? Yeah. So you write down. I had half a loaf of bread and 2 mugs of tea.
Okay, wait, that's a problem on its own. Why did you eat?
No, a lot of persons, you just, what did you have for breakfast? Bread and tea. It's easier to say, but if you're having to write it, you're not just writing bread and tea, you're writing the portion.
as well.
So 2 mugs of tea and half a loaf of bread, and you're looking at it, you're like, I'm ashamed of myself, come on. So it helps you keep track. So you write what
True.
you ate, the time you eat, and the quantity you've eaten. That's like, it helps you uncover your habits. So you know you have this habit of always eating too much in the morning, or
And you have to cut down on that as well. So it helps.
When you're talking about eating habits, it's not just about eating too much. Some people eat too little.
Too little.
Yes.
True.
Some people eat the wrong food classes.
Exactly.
So when you're talking about eating healthy, you're not just talking about, you're not supposed to cut everything. Yeah. So it's just eating from each category, but eating the right meals.
But I think basically your meal should actually be a combination of carbohydrates, protein, and healthy fats.
Yes, you said healthy fats.
Healthy fats.
A lot of persons, they're like, fat, it's not good for me. But we have the omega-3.
Yes, those are actually healthy. Those are good for the body.
True. And I feel we should eat more of plant oil. But it's like olive oils and yeah. But oil from fish too, the omega-3 is probably...
That's equally good too.
Let's not just talk about let's not reflect just on what we eat, when and how. How about the triggers? What common triggers for eating?
Well, when you, like I said, when you keep a diary, when you list all of the things you've eaten in a day, but from breakfast to lunch, dinner, and then the snacks you had in between, you'll be able to control how you eat because you list these things in portions. Yeah. And now, apart from these meals that you've listed down in this diary, also list those, like I said, those eating habits that you have.
Yeah, maybe just take note
of them,
how you
put them
feel
down,
when you decide to eat.
Then you talked about triggers. Now they're very some of the most common triggers that people have are for instance, they walk into the kitchen and they just open the fridge and
yes, you
and
open
there's
the cabinet
all manner of
see
foods in front of you. You're like, how do I start?
Let me go first. My personal confession. Like I open the kitchen cabinet and I see my favorite snack.
And it keeps calling to you. It keeps calling to you. It's like it's calling your name.
Oh, God. I wish I could give you a high five right now.
Honestly, I can totally relate.
Yeah, I see cookies and they're like, immaculate. I'm like, oh my God, I'm in my bed and I can hear the echo.
These are triggers. These are, I mean,
so you have to work on curbing them. So I feel maybe we should just take this stuff out of sight.
True.
They say out of sight is out of mind. Out of sight is not out of mind.
No, really. That doesn't always work. But I think you just have to be able to condition your mind and know that, I mean, and you know your kitchen. You step into your kitchen and the first thing you're seeing is a box of cookies.
Yeah.
You turn to your right and then you see another box of muffins or something. I mean, it's like everywhere. So you know your kitchen, you know where to keep these things out of sight. So you don't have to see them. I think the more you see them, the more you want them.
Maybe you shouldn't even have them at home. And then, except when it's totally necessary.
Yeah, that could work too.
This actually makes me remember a tweet I saw sometime. Someone said, I don't know how people...
Oh,
I don't know how rich people sleep. I can't even sleep because of one small yogurt I have in my face. So you see, yes, you turn to eat because you've seen this thing. And that's kind of greed, I think.
Well, the mind works the way it works.
I think one of the things that I've noticed that a lot of people, one other situation people are in and they tend to eat a lot is when they're watching television.
Oh yes, it's that thing where you keep snacking on something, you keep eating something, watching a movie, and it gets really interesting and you don't
just
even
keep
know
going.
Things into your mouth.
And at the end of the day, this cookie, it's done. I mean,
like, when did it finish?
Yeah.
I have a friend that had the same thing, this very big bowl of ice cream. And she just sat in front of the TV, she was binge watching and she was just scooping, and in one night, so we're talking like few hours of a movie, she finished like a whole big bowl of ice cream.
Yeah, when you talk about eating a whole big bowl of ice cream, I know I've been in such a similar situation, but I know when we're going to be talking about the second hour, when we're talking about replace, we'll deal more on this, where you have to pay more attention to how you feel after you eat. How do you feel after eating a big bowl of ice cream? How do you feel after eating cookie and Coke?
Honestly, I feel like I've probably done something very bad.
I feel bloated most of the time. And then there's a guilt.
That's the feeling. There's that guilt.
Okay, I think another trigger, something else we should watch out for if we're trying to cultivate a good eating habit is planning your meals.
True.
Just imagine coming home and you don't know what you're going to have for dinner.
And then you just come in and you snack on the first thing you say.
Yes, okay, I'm hungry. Let me eat this while I'm thinking of what to eat. And then you're not portioning at that point. And that's really unhealthy. So you're eating cookies and you're like, okay, maybe I should just do noodles. But if you plan ahead of time, probably if you're working every day, like a lot of persons are, cook on weekends.
Yes. I mean, Sundays especially, I think a lot of people have more free time on Sundays. So you could just pick Sunday out and make yourself a variety of meals. That
healthy
meals that would last you for the week.
Yeah, and you don't just come back home and you don't know what to eat, because that's a big problem. There was this survey out there and a lot of person like, why do you eat junk a lot? And you're like, okay, because I don't know what to eat, and so I just feast on the first thing that comes to mind. And then there's another word that's quite popular when you swing by your favorite drive-thru.
Oh.
Imagine you're having to drive to work and you have to buy fuel. You know those fuel stations, they have a lot of fanciful eateries around, and
mad and all of that.
When you say you're guilty.
I am guilty. I can't even deny that.
So you see pastries and
I do a lot of, I mean, sugar, and it's bad. It's bad, I know.
Refined sugars especially.
Exactly. It's very bad.
And then there are the emotional eaters, like emotional eating.
Like you feel sad and you're like, oh, what can I do? Let's get me a bowl of ice cream.
And you feel ice cream will give you solace.
Sometimes it works. You should try it.
But seriously, a lot of people eat because they're tired or they're thinking food might offer solace. They're bored.
Yeah, boredom is actually a very big trigger.
Okay, so you're hoping you're bored and so you keep busy with eating.
I mean, let's think about it. This period, the period we're in right now is the lockdown and everything. Everyone is at home, and then you sleep. You wake up in the morning, and next thing you're thinking about is food. And then people that had to stock their homes before the lockdown, you have like a lot of food out there. You have a lot of food in your house at your disposal. So you look at it and you feel like, oh, I have this, I have this, I have that. Like what you said, they don't know what to eat. They have too much of it. They're not even sure of which one to pick. Yeah. So they pick from this, pick from this, pick from this. And at the end of the day, you've probably eaten like 3 or 4 people's meals.
So you should actually watch what you stock. So if you must stock the house, stock healthy options, So rather than have ice cream, you can have nuts, and that takes us to the second hour where we do replace, right?
True.
But how about we take a short break? When we come back, we shall be talking things you should replace if you're trying to cultivate a healthier eating habit. Don't go anywhere, we'll be right back. You just joined us, it's Still Diet Plan and African Patriot Radio. Okay, before we went on that break, we were talking about reflect, and now we're going to replace and then reinforce. Replace basically is just replacing the unhealthy with the healthy. That's eat slower, eat intentionally.
Exactly.
Portion your sizes.
Yeah, portion. You know what triggers you. Find a way around it. If it's when you go to a drive-through and then you see all of the pastries out there.
Close your eyes.
Not just close your eyes. Find an alternative route to work. I mean, if you're going out, find an alternative route that could actually help as well.
Okay, and then talking about reinforce, because you cannot just go on the crash diet. It's one day at a time. So you could do salads today, and tomorrow you replace chickens with
fried chickens. Actually, replace fried chickens because chickens are actually very good. They actually contain
white meat.
Yeah, they contain healthy fat as well.
So we could replace that with salmon.
The fried one with grilled. that works actually.
Yeah. So it's one step at a time. You do not have to go on a crash diet. Okay, that's much we can take on diet plan today. Any parting words?
Like you said, try to eat healthy and stay healthy.
Yes, you are what you eat. I don't know why she didn't say that today. She says that always.
Well,
My name is
I was leaving that to you.
My name is Udo Immaculator, and it's been myself and the very adorable Amen on Diet Plan. Up next is Information Africa News. Please stay tuned.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen, Jude Ojima Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio. My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen, Jude Ojima Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
Africa. The time is 1 o'clock in West Africa, 3 o'clock in East Africa, and 2 o'clock in South and Central Africa. Here is information on African news reaching you from African Patriot Radio. You can listen to this broadcast on the live streaming on www.facebook.com/African Patriot Radio/videos. My name is Elvis Oga. A high court in Malawi has ordered the government to restrain from implementing a lockdown aimed to help curb the spread of coronavirus in the southern African country. This came on the heels of an application of injunction by a civil society group, Human Rights Defenders Coalition, HRDC, with barely 24 hours to the takeoff of the lockdown order by President Peter Mutharika. The Osun State Police Command yesterday arrested 2 of its men involved in assaulting a lady at Odo Ori in Iwo local government area. The 2 police inspector, Ikwesa Taiwo, and police constable Abbas Ibrahim in a viral video were seen assaulting a lady over enforcement of a lockdown order in Osun State. In a statement, the police public relations officer, Yemisi Opalola, stated that the commissioner of police, Johnson Kokumo, described the assault on the lady, one Abdulaziz Alimat, as unnecessary, adding that the men are presently under the police trial. Alois Barikako, leader of Burundi's opposition coalition, Kira Burundi, and other opposition political parties have accused the Election Commission of a ploy to eliminate them from the presidential, parliamentary, and local polls. The Independent Electoral Commission, CENI, having rejected lists from certain groups in what is seen as a violation of its mission, however, denies the accusation. Over 5 million Burundians are registered to vote in the May 20th slated polls, in which President Pierre Nkurunziza will not be a candidate. In business, the African Development Bank Managed Sustainable Energy Fund for Africa, CEFA, has approved a $760,000 grant to Empower New Energy, MNEW, to develop at least 8 small renewable energy projects with capacity ranging from 1 to 10 megawatts towards bankability and construction. And from the world of entertainment, celebrity chef Choma Roland, the fiancé of Nigerian singer Davido, has now recovered from coronavirus. The singer made this known via Twitter on Sunday, the 19th of April, 2020. Davido tweeted, "Glory be to God. Choma has now tested negative twice for COVID-19. Thank you all for prayers. We love you." And on sport, Nigeria international footballer Dixon Etu has been handed a 5-year ban from football in Sweden after being found guilty of match fixing. The 37-year-old was banned by the Swedish FA alongside the former IFK Rosjoholm player Alban Yusufi for deliberately trying to persuade an Alva player to underperform in one of their matches. Etu, who was first called into the Super Eagles in 2007, played in Nigeria's 3 group matches at the 2010 World Cup. And our weather report for today's show was Freetown, Sierra Leone and Libreville, Gabon are mostly clouded at 24 and 27 degrees Celsius respectively, while Kinshasa, Democratic Republic of Congo, will be experiencing more cloud at 26 degrees Celsius atmosphere. And that was Information African News as produced by the APR News crew. Before we go, our African proverb for the day is a Nigerian proverb that says, "Other people's wisdom prevents the king from being called a fool." I am Elvis Oga. Good afternoon.
Together to form an alliance to fight deadly pandemic coronavirus or the COVID-19. It's no longer news that the world is fighting against the deadly virus that is no longer a respecter of age, class, and status, as it has affected the world leaders, entertainers, socialites, the rich and the poor. Over 228,385 cases and over 9,357 deaths recorded in the world from COVID-19. Here on African Patriot Radio, we will be giving you 20 tips in preventing and protecting you from the deadly epidemic. 1. Wash your hands properly with water and antiseptic soap or use a sanitizer. Use medical masks while in public places. 3. Do not come in physical contact with those infected. 4. Avoid touching your face, eyes, nose, and other sensitive parts of your body with unwashed hands. 5. Stay at home if you're not feeling well. 6. When coughing or sneezing, use a tissue and dispose afterwards. 7. Always clean and disinfect frequently touched objects and surfaces like chairs, tables, door knobs, etc. 8. Cover your nose with a handkerchief or tissue when someone around you sneezes. 9. Avoid overloaded commercial vehicles. 10. Avoid populated center. 11. Sweaty body contact or sharing clothes you aren't sure are properly washed. Please avoid them. 12. Drink plenty of hot or warm water. 13. If you have a high fever, cover yourself with a blanket. 14. Avoid drinking too much of ice water. 15. Do lots of exercises. 16. Try to eat ginger or add them to your meal. It generates heat in the body. 17. Avoid sharing objects or accessories like earphones without cleaning or disinfecting them. 18. Avoid eating in unhygienic places or areas. 19. Avoid cold environments where it is possible for the virus to thrive. Finally, the most common thing we touch is our phone. Always make sure that you clean the surfaces of your phones with wipes, sterilizing agents, or alcohol. These are some helpful ways of preventing coronavirus. Please call the emergency line for support and inquiries if you reside in Nigeria. The numbers to call is 080-097-000-010. This is brought to you by African Patriot Radio. I am Josephine Paul.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen, Jude Ojima Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
Hello and good afternoon. This is still the African Patriot Radio. I am your favorite girl, Fulfillment Tomato Rocha, the Energy Goddess. On today's show, you, me, and the society will be talking crimes, its forms, its types, its implications, and best ways to manage crimes. I'm not alone today in the studio. With me is Elvis Olga, the radio god.
Yeah, no, I don't like that radio god.
Really?
Actually, my Abuja fans call me that, but I prefer the radio best friend.
I am your Abuja fan.
So that goes anyway. I just told you what I prefer.
Welcome anyways.
Thanks
for
so
joining
much.
me on the show today.
My
How was
pleasure.
your weekend?
It was good, just the fact, except for the fact that we lost somebody who was so important to the country.
Yes, ABBA KYARI of blessed memory. Elvis, on today's show, we'll be talking crime.
Yeah.
Its implications, its forms, types, how best we can manage the spread of crimes in society. Yes.
Ways to prevent crimes from happening.
Yes. So, crime is an action and omission that is punishable by law.
True.
Crime is not a respecter of age, qualification, gender,
background,
tribe, background, marital status. Crime is crime.
Crime is a fact, it's a matter of law and order.
Yes. So, in recent times, people have, segmented crimes to different
different times or forms.
Times and forms.
Because if you want to look at crime on a general note, you could mention things like treason, arson, theft, burglary, rape, assault.
They're also crimes.
They are also crime, but they are being segmented or being classified into different forms or types of crime. So I would like us to quickly go into that. Talking about the different types of crime, we have violent, property crime, white-collar crime, organized crime,
and that's what I was going to talk to you about when you said white-collar crimes.
Yeah.
So if you're saying white-collar crime, does it mean it's only committed by those people that do white-collar jobs?
No, but this is a kind of crime that's been committed by people you hold in high esteem, more like you see them like responsible people, and then at the discharge of the duties of these people, they tend to commit crime. You can just take, for instance, corruption.
Okay.
Yeah, corruption in the system is a part of white-collar crime. Yeah.
Okay.
Then when you talk about violent, you already know assault, abuse, or homicide can be in that category.
Okay.
And then property crime, you have car theft, arson, which you all know is deliberate setting of fire on property, burglary or larceny, where people just break people's homes and get into it. Then organized crime.
Okay.
When people mention that, our mind quickly wanders into movies like the Godfather movies and all that we get to see once in a while. Organized crimes is these crimes that come out from, can I call them an institution or a body that actually came into existence because of this crime? Like this is purely and premeditated issues.
I think every crime is premeditated.
Exactly, but what we're talking about is like every crime is premeditated, but there are some crime you can refer to them as spontaneous crime.
I don't think any crime is spontaneous.
Okay.
Spontaneity is something you use for any other thing aside crime, because even in a split second you could think of what you're about to do. I was trying to explain to you before we came on show. Take for instance Mr. A and Mr. B. And Mr. C is sitting on the sidewalk watching them fight. And he's seeing how the fight is, getting so intense. And then in a split second he thinks, if I take Mr. B from here, Mr. A will fall off. If I take Mr. A from here, Mr. B falls off. So he's already planned and premeditated on how best to attack the opponent. That's actually, concept. That's an idea. And I think every crime that has been meted out on anybody comes and is generated from an idea.
Yeah, to an extent.
To an extent, I feel you think it
before it happens.
And you were even telling me that even what you just said now, you had to just...
Yeah, before I said it, I had to think about it.
Okay.
Some of the holy books say you're a product of your thoughts.
Yeah, exactly.
So now, if you're a product of your thoughts, that means before you do anything, you have thought about it.
Okay.
And so that will lead me to talking to you about something. You know, a lot of people say if you are a woman and you kill a man, your judgment shouldn't be as intense as that of a man killing a woman.
But already laid that on the table when we say a crime is no respect of gender, age, or background, or what have you.
Okay, so what do you think as a person now? What do you think contributes to making a person, a man, a woman, a girl, a boy commit crime? What do you think are the factors that, you know, build up an individual to commit crime?
There are so many factors one could actually point to when it has to do with crimes.
Okay.
Like this popular saying goes, an idle mind is the devil's workshop.
Yeah, true.
So you can pin one of the most cause of crime to unemployment. Like we saying that people have different reasons for going to crime, but it's never justifiable.
Yeah, never justifiable.
Exactly. So you can look at unemployment. Poverty is another one. Okay. And then people are, some experts have actually linked crime to cultural beliefs or domestic violence, and then land issues and drugs. That when we mention drugs, that actually remind me that we didn't talk much about consensual crime or victimless crime.
Okay.
That's the kind of crime people commit without not much victims in mind, in a sense that, you see, intake of unprescribed medicine or drug abuse, it's a crime.
Okay.
But this fall under the consensual crimes because you are taking this thing for, it's coming into your system. But at the long run, do you know people tend to commit crime under the influence of this drug? That is why the name victimless crime is not as popular as the consensual crime.
Yeah, true.
So
true.
People under drugs can actually, a drug could be causes of maybe one of the causes of crimes as well.
Yeah. Also, I want to buttress on the fact that you said domestic violence.
Yeah.
I'd also want to explain that domestic violence could be also linked to background.
Yeah.
Because there are a whole lot of children that see what their parents do in the house. Like there's this saying, this popular saying that says, what monkey sees, monkey does.
Yeah.
So if monkey sees that monkeys are fighting, monkey goes out and monkey fights. So I think people are a representation of their environment. Like some time ago, I read somewhere that a man committed a crime. He committed a crime and all he was saying was, it's not my fault.
So whose fault?
So whose fault is it?
Most people tend to say the devil's fault.
We all have to take responsibility for our actions.
Exactly.
Because if you commit a crime, you have to go in for it. And then, you know, we hear of things like, I committed the crime, but I plead not guilty because you have a reason for it. The most important thing is that you committed a crime. These are the facts. These are the reasons, according to you.
Yeah.
But
what does the law, or what does the law say about that?
Okay, what is the implication? You killed somebody. Then what does the law say about anybody that kills
homicide?
A homicide. So I think, you know, a lot of parents also have to look into the fact that if you keep fighting in your homes, if you keep having unnecessary issues in your homes, the children grow up to be this.
Yeah.
Causing a nuisance and menace in the society. We also have to look into the fact that, you know, a lot of girls tend to steal just because they want to be like their friends, their neighbors or something. Like you made mention of something sometime. You said you cannot go out of your way to please anybody because this is you.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be said to copy anybody.
Not at all.
Yeah, so I think that came from your background. Home training, okay, how you saw things, how you were made to see things. So, but not a lot of people think that
way or see things that way.
Yes, okay, and you know, a lot of people that have been victimized because they feel this person is not up to my standard. I think it goes a long way to relating to all of us in the society.
Yeah.
Do not look down on anybody. Because I think that also will contribute to making you want to feel like, what they call this thing, sense of belonging.
Yeah, the wannabes.
The wannabes.
That's how they call it.
Yeah, the hashtag wannabes. So the wannabes. And then, you know, a lot of people that also have been victims of rape, robbery, what have you, different crimes, say consensual, you know, the white collar crimes. That is really the violence.
Property
and
crime.
You know, a lot of those people now tend to, you know, in the long run, it's someone like it's always said that there's no long-term repercussion of these crimes on the victims, even on the perpetrators. But the thing is, there is a short-term
there's a short-term repercussion. There's a short-term effect.
Yeah.
Because with time, they tend to get confused. They're disorganized and disoriented about virtually everything around them.
That's leading us into an effect of crime in the society.
Yes. They're disoriented. They tend to have flash dreams. You could tell someone that was raped and they keep on having nightmares.
Yeah.
It disorients them. They don't even, they find it difficult to fit back into the society. We have them reliving the event. A lot of them keep having this thought that somebody somewhere is still coming to grip them, somebody somewhere is still chasing them, someone somewhere is still going to fight with them, and it affects them. Because most of them now tend to become violent. Don't you think so?
Yeah, true, because crime have so many effects on the society on the whole, because this crime must have probably been meted or carried out on a particular individual or victim, and this victim is part of the society. So the relativity or relationship this victim has with his or her environment, with the people around him, translate into what become of the society, become of the person. So you've been able to highlight so many of the effects of this crime on these victims. Like they live in fear, they are anxious, they are confused, they don't come out to be themselves. And then before we even look at the effect on these people, let's even take a look at the loss, damage, when it has to do with property theft, maybe like arson and several other things. And that could lead into a drop in productivity of the people within that area, because the area is not secure. Everybody is living in fear. People will not put out their best.
And some of these people then tend to relieve that event by also acting on what was, what they faced, what happened to them. Say for instance, you were robbed, or you were raped, or you were kidnapped, for instance. A lot of these people, in the course of trying to get over the trauma, try to sit back into the society and all, they tend to act on what they were, what they have gone through. They tend to start going into robbery, going to kidnapping, and it affects. It's like a chain now.
It affects
the society, because it's more like a merry-go-round. You're dropping from this and you're still going back to this, and everybody's just getting infected and infected and infected.
Exactly.
So it also it also leads to memory loss. A whole lot of them just tend to forget anything.
Because maybe they are lost in their thinking about what problem must have happened to them in the past.
Yeah. And then stigmatization is a very, very big issue.
That's the big role that the society has to play in there.
Because a lot of people in the society, like I think I saw a post on social media where a girl was raped and her pictures were everywhere, which was wrong.
Quite wrong.
And the guy that raped the girl, his face was blurred.
Okay.
So why would you blur the guy's face
and then expose the victim?
Yeah, that's where law comes to
whether we like it or not, we cannot run away from our bias, because once the first thing that comes to your mind when you see such a person is that incident, because it's abnormal to an extent.
Yeah, it is.
It's abnormal to an extent. Then there's something we forgot to talk about when we were talking about crimes. You made mention of juvenile delinquency, and I love talking about that, because it is this youth that have this untamed energy that need to be channeled into something. So when this energy is left idle, that energy becomes channeled into crime.
That's where I made mention of it, irrespective of age, class, gender. A lot of young people tend to do a lot of things, and they feel, I'm not yet up to the legal age, which is 18 years in Nigeria, and then I can just go scot-free. I can do anything I want to do. I can go anywhere I want to go. I can commit anything I want to commit, just because I am not up to 18.
I remember my uncle telling my younger cousins way back, he would tell you, if you like, just be a day old, I have your punishment for you.
Yes, every action that requires a punishment has a punishment.
So to youth out there that think they could just go about carrying out juvenile delinquency, there are correctional facilities.
There are correctional facilities, so we'll wait for you to get to your 18, and then they take you in for it.
Because this juvenile delinquency come out of youthful exuberance.
Yes. A whole lot of times we tend to, as young people, forget that there's something we call the future. So even if you are living in the slums today, there's actually 100% possibility of you moving out.
Can we quickly look at the way where these crimes can be managed or prevented?
Yes, we will be looking at that, but let's take a short break. And so when we come back, we will be looking at how best to manage crimes in the society.
Welcome back. This is still the African Patriot Radio midday feed. And before we went on a short break, we were talking crime. And with me is Elvis Oga, and he would explain to us how best to manage crime and contain crime and the perpetrators and the victims. Before we went on the short break, you were saying something about how best to manage
crimes and then prevent crimes
and prevent crimes as well.
Yeah.
Please, can you throw more light on it?
Okay. One best way of managing crime is justice. Okay. That encompasses. It has to deal with the perpetrator and the victim and the situation that is involved.
Okay.
You've heard about so many rape cases where the victim tell you they are still being traumatized until justice is served.
True.
So when justice is served, these people feel a big veil has been lifted off their eyes, and then they feel good and they feel very ready to be
move back into the society.
Into the society again. But apart from that, there are several key ways we can prevent crimes from happening, which we want everybody to just take caution of. Like, you have to harden your target. Maybe you have something that is more like a sign or show of all eyes. You think that, okay, you know that people will definitely like this thing. You make it hard. Like, if it's a very fancy car, you have to impute more security checks on this car so that it's not easily stolen. And then you also have to remove your target. Like, when you park your car, they will tell you, don't leave your phones on the seat or where it's visible. It's better you hide them under the seat.
To entice these people. Yeah, I understand.
The perpetrators or prospective criminals. And then you have to reduce means by which these criminals can get into this target. Maybe sometimes you leave your ladder at the garden, hanging on the fence.
Whoa.
A criminal could just use it to
get into
your house.
It's more like you're leading them into your house already.
And then you reduce payoff. That is why most companies, if you see their materials, their logo or their name is crested on it. So if anybody is going to sell that, they have to involve the company. If not, if you buy that, you might be in for it for buying a stolen property as well.
That's very true, because a lot of people tend to buy things. You know, before we can even advertise, we check if a product is watermarked.
Yeah.
That is actually intellectual theft. I understand what you're trying to say. Exactly. I understand what you're trying to say.
So another thing that we have to look at is the access control. You control the way people gain access to certain places by setting up small rules or mini rules around your locality. Take, for instance, in your house, you make a rule like the last person that goes out or comes in should just shut the door and lock it. That prevents people from getting into it.
And that creates the awareness of responsibility.
Yes.
Because I think also how best to prevent this, you never can tell when it will come. You never can tell when you will be faced with a difficult situation that, would have to make you smarten up or something. So I think, understanding the basic taekwondo moves and how best to protect yourself.
That's for self-defense.
That's for self-defense, yes. Understanding the basic moves and, always try to avoid lonely environments.
Yes.
Because a lot of ladies that have been said to be raped have been all caught in lonely environments.
It won't be a complete package if we tend to take a look at ways of preventing this crime without going into address what causes crime. We talked about unemployment, we talked about cultural
domestic violence, we talked about backgrounds. Yeah.
So we need to revisit those backgrounds, and then parents have a whole lot of work to do to raise their kids in a proper way.
Our parents really do have a whole lot of work to do. When a mother sends her daughter to Uncle so-so-so's house to get so-so-so thing at about 10:30 in the evening, and then Uncle so leaves alone. This is not saying, we're not saying you're tempting, but we're saying do not tempt.
Yeah.
Because you never can tell. Uncle so is a human being. And so also to our parents that try to provide the basic things for our children, please don't overdo it, because when you don't have, this is a community, this is a society, and things tend to inflate and deflate.
Yeah.
So when things get really rocky and you're not able to provide the basic things for your child or children, they tend to think you don't want to give it to them.
Yeah.
And also try to pay attention to their friends.
Exactly, because
peer pressure. Because that's like they are close.
They say there are so many adage to buttress that.
Okay,
like a bad company corrupts good manners.
Show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. Yeah, true. So I think these are really important factors to how best to manage and prevent crimes. And also try your possible best to speak to your child, because the children of this age right now understand by conversing with their parents instead of the normal, like when I was growing. The order of the day was beating. My dad will flog you till he has impacted that knowledge into your head. He doesn't care how. So, but right now, it's not about beating a child. It's about talking to your children.
Make them see reasons why they should do certain things and why
make
they
them
shouldn't
see
do certain
reasons.
things.
Make them see reasons, because you should be your child's friend. And also, even if you're having issues in your homes as parents, we know it's not going to be so easy, but try to keep your children out of it.
All right.
Try to make your home a safe haven for your children. Like I would always tell young people, whatever you're doing, make sure that you tend to tell yourself the truth. But make sure that you don't commit a crime in the house that would make you run outside. Because when you run outside, there's no place to go. But when you commit a crime outside and you run back into the house to tell them the truth, you will rest assured that, okay, to an extent, you wouldn't be sent out.
Yeah.
You would be fought for, and the justice will definitely take its place.
You will be corrected.
But you will be corrected.
Exactly.
Yes, so that's the most we can take on today's show. Please do stay with us for more information. And also, please, if you feel there are stories you would want to share with us, please do so on our comment section. And we will be reading out your stories with your names on the show. I still remain your favorite girl, Fulfillment Wantoracha, the energy goddess. And with me is the radio
best friend, Elvis Oga.
Okay, please have a beautiful afternoon. Bye-bye.
Bye.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen, Jude Ojima Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio. My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen, Jude Ojima Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
Hello, it's another day on African Patriot Radio, where we of course are keeping you up to date with the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Josephine Paul. The coronavirus COVID-19 is real and rapidly taking over the world, with about 5 new cases now confirmed in Nigeria, making a total number of 36 confirmed cases, 33 active cases, 2 discharged, and 1 death recorded as at 10:35 a.m. of March 2020. The question most people are asking is, how do I know I have been infected with the virus? Here are some of the early warning symptoms that would need you to check into a health facility for proper diagnosis. Fever, cough, shortness of breath, itching, dry cough, dry throat. And here are some emergency warning signs or symptoms. They include troubled breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, bluish lips or face. These symptoms may appear 2 to 14 days after exposure. So be alert, spread the news and not the virus. In case of any emergency, you can also call 080-097-000-010. You can also follow our social media handles or like and share. From African Patriot Radio, I am Josephine Paul.
Have you ever heard or seen a frog with claws? Well, here's a fun fact. African clawed frogs, just like the name suggests, have hard black claws on their hind feet. Another fun fact is both males and females communicate with sounds, but neither one of them have vocal sacs. Hello and welcome to another segment of the Midday Feed on your #1 radio station, the African Patriot Radio. My name is Ekanem, and this is African Fun Facts. Today we'll be considering one amazing creature that is mostly found in sub-Saharan Africa, and that is the African clawed frog. And before we go further, let's take a quick short break, and when we get back, we'll be analyzing and dissecting the African clawed frog. Don't go anywhere.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen, Jude Ojema Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
Welcome back. This is still African Fun Facts on African Patriot Radio. Before we went on that short break, I did mention that we will be talking about the African clawed frog. Now, I said we'll be analyzing and dissecting it, so let's get right into the business of the day. Now, the species is found throughout much of sub-Saharan Africa, from Nigeria to Sudan and down to South Africa. They are aquatic and are most often greenish-gray in color. These frogs are plentiful in ponds and rivers found throughout much of sub-Saharan Africa, like I said. This frog, they have smooth, slippery skin, which mostly appear multicolored on its back, with blotches of olive gray or brown. The underside, which is the belly part, is mostly creamy white with a yellow tinge. Now, its name is derived from the 3 short claws on each hind foot, which it uses to tear apart its food and scratch predators. Now, being aquatic, the African clawed frog uses its sense of smell and its lateral line to detect prey, rather than eyesight like other frogs. However, clawed frogs can still see using their eyes and will stalk prey and watch predators by sticking their heads out of the water. African clawed frogs are fully aquatic and will rarely leave the water except to migrate to new water bodies during the drought or other disturbances, or as a result of other disturbances. Clawed frogs have powerful legs that help them move quickly both underwater and on land. Now, there's a major difference between the male and female clawed frogs. And one thing that distinguishes them, or some of the few things that distinguish them are, one, the male frogs are small and slim, while the females are larger and more robust. That is, they look bigger than the male frogs. Now, the males have black patches on their hands and arms, which aid in grabbing onto females during the process of mating. And the females have a more pronounced cloaca and have hip-like bulges around their rear legs where their eggs are internally located. Now let's look at their feeding habit. They reproduce by fertilizing eggs outside of the female body. This way, the male claps the female in front of the female's back legs and squeezes until eggs come out. Then the male further goes on to spray his sperm all over the eggs to fertilize them. These frogs are highly adaptable and will lay their eggs whenever conditions allow it. So wherever they find themselves, they can go on to lay their eggs. They are nocturnal and most of their reproductive activities and feeding occur at night. Now let's look at how they adapt to things around them. And during wet rainy seasons, they will travel to other ponds or puddles of water to search for food. During times of drought, the clawed frogs can burrow themselves into the mud, becoming dormant for up to a year. African clawed frogs have been known to survive 15 or more years in the wild and 25 to 30 years in captivity. They shed their skin every season and sometimes even eat their own skin. The African clawed frogs are voracious predators and easily adapt to many habitats. For this reason, they can easily become very harmful and invasive creatures. They can travel short distances to other bodies of water, and some have even been documented to survive mild freezes. They have also been shown to devastate native population of frogs and other creatures by eating their young. These frogs have been kept as pets and research subjects since as early as the 1950s. They are extremely hardy and long-lived, having been known to live up to 20 or even 30 years in captivity. African clawed frogs are frequently mislabeled as African dwarf frogs in pet stores. Now, one striking difference between the African dwarf frogs and the African clawed frogs is that unlike the African dwarf frogs that have their eyes positioned at the sides of their heads, the African clawed frogs have their eyes on the top of their heads. Let's take a short break. When we come back, we would look more into this amazing creature, the African clawed frog.
Hello, it's another day on African Patriot Radio, where we are poised at keeping you up to date with the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Josephine Paul. The coronavirus COVID-19 is real and rapidly taking over the world, with about 5 new cases now confirmed in Nigeria, making a total number of 36 confirmed cases, 33 active cases, 2 discharged, and 1 dead recorded as at 10:35 a.m. of March 2020. The question most people are asking is, how do I know I have been infected with the virus? Here are some of the early warning symptoms that would need you to check into a health facility for proper diagnosis. Fever, cough, shortness of breath, itching, dry cough, dry throat. And here are some emergency warning signs or symptoms. They include troubled breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, bluish lips or face. These symptoms may appear 2 to 14 days after exposure. So be alert, spread the news and not the virus. In case of any emergency, you can also call 080-097-000-010. You can also follow our social media handles or like and share. From African Patriot Radio, I am Josephine Paul.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen. Jude Ojema Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
Hello, it's another day on African Patriot Radio, where we are poised at keeping you up to date with the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Josephine Paul. The coronavirus COVID-19 is real and rapidly taking over the world, with about 5 new cases now confirmed in Nigeria, making a total number of 36 confirmed cases, 33 active cases, 2 discharged, and 1 dead recorded as at 10:35 a.m. of March 2020. The question most people are asking is, how do I know I have been infected with the virus? Here are some of the early warning symptoms that would need you to check into a health facility for proper diagnosis. Fever, cough, shortness of breath, itching, dry cough, dry throat. And here are some emergency warning signs or symptoms. They include troubled breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, bluish lips or face. These symptoms may appear 2 to 14 days after exposure. So be alert, spread the news and not the virus. In case of any emergency, you can also call 080-097-000-010. You can also follow our social media handles or like and share. From African Patriot Radio, I am Josephine Paul.
Welcome back. This is still African Fun Facts on African Patriot Radio. If you're just joining us, you're welcome. But we've been talking about the African clawed frog. Now, like I said earlier, this species of frogs are actually aquatic by nature. They hardly come out. They hardly come out to the ground from the water, except when the need arises. Now we've looked at your behavior. We've looked at the look of these creatures, and now let's look at their feeding habits. Now the African clawed frogs are carnivores and will eat both living and dead prey, including fish, tadpoles, arthropods, and more. The clawed frogs will try to consume anything that is able to fit into their mouth. Now their tongue is unable to extend like other frogs, so clawed frogs use their hands to grab food and shovel it down their mouth. These species are toothless and almost tongueless, like I just said. Their tongues are unable to extend like other frogs. So unlike other frogs that use their tongues to grab food and put into their mouths, these ones can't. Instead, they use their hands, and as a result of the claws they have, they are able to tear and rip apart their meals. They use their sensitive fingers and sense of smell to find food. African clawed frogs are scavengers and will eat almost anything, living, dying, or dead, or any type of organic waste. These frogs are particularly cannibalistic. The stomach contents of these clawed frogs have revealed large amounts of the frog's larvae. Clawed frog larvae are filter feeders and collect nutrients from plankton, allowing adult frogs that consume the tadpoles to have access to these nutrients. This allows clawed frogs to survive in areas that have little or no food sources. Now, like I said earlier, clawed frogs are nocturnal, and most reproductive activities and feeding occurs after dark. Male clawed frogs are also very promiscuous and will grab onto other males and even other species of frogs. Most male frogs that get grabbed can easily make release calls and attempt to break free. If you're listening in earlier on the show, I did mention that these frogs actually have no vocal sacs, but they communicate through sounds. Now, I also said that these frogs have been kept as pets, but that doesn't mean they cannot be pests. Now, the African clawed frogs are voracious predators and easily adapt to many habitats. For this reason, they can easily become a harmful invasive species. They can travel short distances to other bodies of water, and some have even been documented to survive mild freezes, like I said earlier. And due to incidents in which these frogs were released and allowed to escape into the wild, African clawed frogs are now illegal to own in some parts of the world. The clawed frogs, like you said, are they're very intriguing creatures to read about, to learn about. But then, in as much as they are cute on the outside, they also have their dirty parts, which is what we just looked at now. We just talked about how voracious and invasive they can be. Also, it's fun to know that a lot of people in sub-Saharan Africa are generally familiar with these frogs, and they have used these frogs for a lot of reasons. These frogs actually have a lot of uses, from being used as a meal, as protein, as an aphrodisiac, as well as fertility medicine. Wow, that is both fun, enlightening, and educative. Well, unfortunately, that's all we have today on African Fun Facts. I hope you enjoyed listening to this, and I hope you learned something new today, because I did. Well, join us next week for more African Fun Facts on this same station, African Patriots Radio. Remember, you can follow us on all of our social media platforms at African Patriots Radio. And feel free, if you're in the comment section, to drop some of the African Fun Facts you know, and we'll be reading them on the next segment of this show. Coming up shortly is Whispers with Fulfillment Waturocha, Immaculata Udo, and Josephine Paul. Stay tuned.
Hello, it's another day on African Patriot Radio, where we are poised at keeping you up to date with the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Josephine Paul. The coronavirus COVID-19 is real and rapidly taking over the world, with about 5 new cases now confirmed in Nigeria, making a total number of 36 confirmed cases, 33 active cases, 2 discharged, and 1 death recorded as at 10:35 a.m. of March 2020. The question most people are asking is, how do I know I have been infected with the virus? Here are some of the early warning symptoms that would need you to check into a health facility for proper diagnosis. Fever, cough, shortness of breath, itching, dry cough, dry throat. And here are some emergency warning signs or symptoms. They include troubled breathing, persistent pain or pressure in the chest, bluish lips or face. These symptoms may appear 2 to 14 days after exposure. So be alert, spread the news and not the virus. In case of any emergency, you can also call 080-097-000-010. You can also follow our social media handles or like and share. From African Patriot Radio, I am Josephine Paul.
My name is Josephine Paul.
Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen. Jude Ojema Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem.
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
Hello, it's another day on African Patriot Radio, where we are poised at keeping you up to date with the COVID-19 pandemic. My name is Josephine Paul.
As we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, younger or older, we stand as an indivisible unit like atoms. We stand for what we have left is our right, our plight to elevate to greater heights. Touching the sky, we take flight, not to be out of sight, but in our might. So in the pitch of dark, we are a pinch of light, illuminating the night. For sight will remember us having foresight. Built from a dream, standing supreme, we are a team that beams. Even when the odds are looking slim, turning our losses to wins. As we stand together from around Africa, we speak Africa with the heart of a champion, as it is in our black heritage, to create the new Africa from past Africa. As we stand together, knowledge has no barriers, for we have conquered our fears, shifted gears to plunge further in every sphere, piercing the chest of the future like sharpened spear. We stand together to weather the storm, to be reborn, sprouting like germinated seeds of a corn, to reform a generation like the signal sound of a horn. That though by history we are torn, but what's a rose stem without thorns? We take turns to have our history spun from a conundrum of hearts beating like a talking drum, talking from words inscribed on our minds' tabloids. We stand together as African patriots.
It's ODJ Biz. I feel too mad for you. Yeah. I feel too crazy for you. Baby, girl, I promise you my heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I promise you my love. Oh, oh, baby, I wanna share my life with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to give my heart to you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, little family, now you be the one, now you be the one, no. Oh, little family, now you be the one, no. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna ever play you Ojoro. I'm not gonna ever play you Tinko, Tinko. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna ever busy your polio. Yeah, baby girl, let me be your provider. Say, baby, let me be your shelter. I wanna be there to cover you. Baby, let me be your Muslim. I wanna be there to fight for you. I will never fall your hand, and I will never break your heart, baby. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you captured me. Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see her? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Ooh, do. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Do, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, make we push this COVID-19 away, far away.
Everybody got to realize, for this life, now one life we get, oh. Everybody got to realize, for this life, you don't get to duplicate, you don't get to duplicate. Keep to the rules and regulations, yeah. Stay for your house, oh, make you know they go out, oh. Now for your good, the government just to pass that law, oh. Now for your good, make everybody they safe, oh. Stay house, make you know they go out, oh.
Make you know they go out, oh.
For this time, Corona no get friend, oh.
You no get friend, oh.
Stay house, make you know they go out, oh.
Make you know they go out, oh.
For this time, Corona no get friend, oh, 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 oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. Keep it good hygiene. Oh, oh. Make you day your house, oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house for the better. Make we stay house for the better. Everybody, everybody, everybody stop waka waka. Oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better. Everybody, everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better, it go better. Oh. Corona never get the cure. Everybody make you sanitize. Corona, it no be our friend, yo. Oh yeah, keep.
Does he like me? Do I like him? He texted first. He did. Oh God, he's tall. Really? He's dark, his beard. Oh my God. Snap out of it. Oh, this is Whispers on African Patriot Radio.
Yeah.
And I am your crushing girl. Fulfillment Maturocha, the Energy Goddess, and another crushing girl. And
Yes, yeah, just for people is right here.
a crushing girl.
I'm a crushing girl, no, but I'm not really crushing right now.
Okay, I'm not crushing girl.
You are crushing
no
girl.
crushing girl, trust me. I don't know what you mean by crushing girl.
Honestly, but
I
it's
like to be crushed on. I'm always on the receiving
Oh,
end.
that's it, babe. I'm always on the receiving end.
And
as well.
are you just going to introduce yourself? Oh yes, I'm your favorite flavor, butterscotch. But officially, my name is Immaculata Udor.
Yeah.
And on Whispers today, we will be discussing or talking or gossiping MCM.
Because it's
Man Crush Monday. Oh God, I thought that was going to be difficult for you guys to get it.
Really? Man Crush Monday.
Yeah.
Like, when I just wake up to every single week, it's Monday. I'm just thinking, oh my
Man
God,
crush.
he's gonna be that one.
Like,
He's
do you
gonna be
always
that
have
one.
a picture to upload on the internet?
No, I don't really have to upload on my internet or my social media, but you know, I'm just like I could just go through his page, go through it.
Okay, so you wake up in the morning and the first thing you're thinking on the Monday.
Wake up in the morning and think of like it's mine and stuff, but I just have it in my head.
She just said.
Nope, I just
okay,
said.
every time I wake up in the morning, I think it's money coming and it's Monday.
Oh, cool.
Money come Monday.
What?
Ah, come on. Okay,
Yes.
girls, he texted first.
Really?
Yeah.
He texted first.
Okay, I mean, are we talking about your MCM at this point? Okay, let's talk about MCM. Okay, now on today's edition of the Man Crush Monday, we should be talking about, like, have you ever had to walk up to a guy? Like, do you have the guts to walk up to a guy and say, hey guy, dude, I want to get into a relationship with you now? Yes, I do. It's a capital in block letters. N-O. I've never ever had guts. I think I should.
You should try it.
Yeah, I think I should try. Have you done it before? He texted. No, I haven't. But he texted.
I haven't. I don't think I don't.
You know, guys are so proud.
No,
and girls are
there's
not.
There's this thing. I feel like they're just they're special. The kind of guys that would just have to wear that ego and
you should
pride
understand
look and
the
all that.
signs.
Yes, there are lots of signs.
God,
out
I
there.
give you the eye like this. Okay, are you your crush?
Yes.
Are you your spec? Okay,
yeah,
we're
we
talking
talked about spec last time, and this one is
Yeah.
the crush. I don't think I've ever walked up to a guy. Like, I could just be admiring him from a distance, but I've never tried to take a bold step
So
to
what
talk
if
to
he
him.
texts?
If he texts, that's a good sign.
What's the content? What's the content of the text? Say,
hello, it's something.
no, please. I like you.
you're beautiful.
Oh, well, that means your crush likes you as well. Then you can hit it up from there.
Yes. But there are love signs out there for if a guy is crushing on you, and there are a lot of things you're looking out for.
Like I think
that's where your spec comes
personally, in. He is my spec.
Yeah,
he is my spec.
Please define. Can you, in plain terms, tell us what your spec is? Cause you're looking at me, you're talking, and I'm thinking.
No, you're not my spec.
Are we?
No, she didn't say she's your spec. Like,
we might just be
there are a lot of people. There are a lot of people out there.
Crushing on the same person.
Come on, see. Okay, I just said earlier that I have never had the guts. Like, I've never had guts enough to walk up to anybody, but that doesn't mean that I've never questioned anybody. Do you know? It's like, you see somebody, you like the person, just like guys see girls and they like girls as well. Yeah. Same thing applies to girls. It's just that the African mentality, we cannot approach them and say, hey, I like you, I want to be in a relationship with you, because I feel if you do so, you're thought to be cheap.
Yeah, but something, this conversation before we came on air, where a colleague Yao was saying something about rotational crushing. Like rotational.
Sometimes I used to get on that sport, that rotational crushing, infatuation, passive infatuations. Probably I see someone, I just crush on him, I get to see another person, just depending on how he looks, his looks,
features.
all that matters, features exactly. My spec you get.
When you say rotational crushing, I'm going to a real life story.
Yeah.
Okay. I have two friends, UK and Cynthia. Hello, girls. I hope you were here. Yeah, UK and Cynthia. And then usually it happens a lot of time, not just once. It's also happened between myself and Blessing back in school, university days. And then somebody likes you, he's your friend. And then he's talking. Let's use the three of us now.
Okay.
He meets Josephine and likes Josephine, likes the way Josephine, the way Jojo talks in. They get talking, and he says he likes her. Of course, he likes her and tells his friends, "I like that girl."
Yeah.
And then he invites her out on a date, and Josephine's like, "Ima, there's this guy that he begins to like me," and then I'm like, "How about we go on a girls stuff?" And he's like, "Where are you?" I'm like, "I'm out to my girls," and he comes around and he says, "Well, I like her birthday."
Now this brings us down to understanding that people could just like crush on people
for different reasons.
So you don't have to think that
you're going for your crush even know that you exist.
No, leave it at that.
Okay.
I am crushing and I am jealous and I am crushing and I am taking him.
Please crush your crush on you.
I am crushing on you.
See, I know many times I am actually very close to my brother. I have just one.
Yeah.
And I could tell him, bro, I think my friend likes you. I was like, I know, I've seen her body language, I've seen her, but I don't like her. True.
Really?
So it's actually
that's direct.
It's actually better.
I think you shouldn't tell me directly. Just move away and then don't look at my eyes and then just go.
Oh no, but you'll never know. You never know if your crush likes you. Like, well, you like him. Like the text message you just got this morning.
Guy does the right things. What we call the right things.
Yeah.
The right things.
Yeah, right thing.
The girl right things.
I don't know.
You want to know?
No, never mind. Forget it.
And then he does the right things, and then he doesn't ever say stuff like "I love you." He doesn't ever say stuff like "I want to be with you." He doesn't ever say stuff like "I miss you." He would only say stuff like, "You don't know, Abby." When he asks, "Do you miss me?" Like, "You don't know, Abby." Are you seriously asking me that question?
Yeah.
Then I'd be like, can't you just say it? What would saying do? What would I saying it now do to you?
Points to the fact. That people are like, okay, it's old fashioned to tell them like,
you can go on your date. Enjoy, have fun.
Yeah. Okay,
I'll pick your dress tomorrow when you're going.
What's that look on your face? Come on, be serious. You don't want me to go, right?
And then he'd be like, no. You said you want to go now. You already gave him room.
I'm not saying.
A lot of guys will say
you're not seeing any sign. You're shooting your shots, but it's not.
He's not shooting back.
He's not shooting back.
And he's not catching the ball.
It's clear. It's clear that characteristics and traits for guy I would comes in. Like,
that situation where you with them.
Friend zone.
But we won't have to think that you wouldn't have to
forward. I was like, someone I could do.
Spoke to him about how he played out.
Yeah.
And so
we'll be right back.
Ojima.
Okay, what message I
like you? And so if you're looking to have a relationship with me, I'm not going to tell you what my specifications are, because I like that you ask me out over ice cream date, so I don't miss out on all the
Were you specific?
yeah. So I don't get to miss out on all the ice cream that I can have for free. So how about we go on an ice cream date and then have a conversation, and then we can know where it goes from there. Basically.
Cool. Oh, okay. And then myself, if you're crushing, I don't know why you're crushing though, but possibly get a chance to be in a
I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
Richard Bassi.
Ekane.
Sanitize your hand, social distancing.
Oreo, you're busting my brain, Jaja. The way you're busting my brain, no girl can correct it, no way. Yeah. When you touch me, you spin my world around. I'ma get double everything where you carry for body, oh. Baby, let me be your shoulder. My love is guaranteed. When I pull you closer, it's like falling in love again. Oh, baby, you did do me, Jaja. Oh, baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. That's why I kept falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over and over again. Falling in love. Like play. Sometimes I go run away, and when I run away, I go jump heavy, go be. Yeah, when they hook me for nego, I go run, come back again. Down on my nails, baby, I know go do it again. No way. The kind of love that you show to me, no other girl can love me the way you love me. You love to do me, Jaja. Oh baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. Oh, over and over again. I just wanna keep on falling, yeah. Over and over again. Baby, you know that I wanna keep on falling for you, yeah. I just wanna keep falling in love. I just wanna keep falling in love with you, baby. Over and over again. Baby, you know I wanna keep falling in love with you. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I just wanna keep on falling in love with you, baby. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. I just wanna keep falling in love with you. Oh, DJ is falling. Baby. It's ODJB. ODJ on this one, yeah. Yeah. Quick, Oreo, you're busting my brain, Jaja. The way you're busting my brain, no girl can correct it, no way. Yeah. When you touch me, you spin my world around. I'ma get double everything where you carry for body, oh. Baby, let me be your shoulder. My love is guaranteed. When I pull you closer, it's like falling in love again. Oh, baby, you did do me, Jaja. Oh, baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. That's why I kept falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over and over again. Falling in love. Like play. Sometimes I go run away. And when I run away, I go jam heavy, go babe. Yeah, when they hook me for nego, I go run, come back again. Down on my nails, baby, I know could do it again. No way. The kind of love that you show to me, no other girl can love me the way you love me. You love to do me, Jaja. Oh baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. Oh, over and over again. I just wanna keep on falling, yeah. Over and over again. Baby, you know that I wanna keep on falling for you, yeah. Over again. I just wanna keep falling in love. I just wanna keep falling in love with you, baby. Over and over again. Baby, you know I wanna keep falling in love with you. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I just wanna keep on falling in love with you, baby. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. I just wanna keep falling in love with you. ODJ is falling. Quick.
As we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, younger or older, we stand as an indivisible unit like atoms. We stand for what we have left is our right. Apply to elevate to greater heights. Touching the sky, we take flight, not to be out of sight, but in our might. So in the pitch of dark, we are a pinch of light, illuminating the night. For sight will remember us having foresight. Built from a dream, standing supreme, we are a team that beams. Even when the odds are looking slim, turning our losses to wins. As we stand together from around Africa, we speak Africa with the heart of a champion, as it is in our black heritage, to create the new Africa from past Africa. As we stand together, knowledge has no barriers, for we have conquered our fears, shifted gears to plunge further in every sphere, piercing the chest of the future like sharpened spear. We stand together to weather the storm, to be reborn, sprouting like germinated seeds of a corn, to reform a generation like the signal sound of a horn. That though by history we are torn, but what's a rose stem without thorns? We take turns to have our history spawn from a conundrum of hearts beating like a talking drum, talking from words inscribed on our minds' tabloids. We stand together as African patriots.
It's ODJ Liz. I feel too mad for you. Yeah. I feel too crazy for you. Baby, girl, I promise you my heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I promise you my love. Oh, oh, baby, I wanna share my life with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to give my heart to you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, little family, now you be the one, now you be the one, no. Oh, little family, now you be the one, no. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna ever play you Ojoro. I'm not gonna ever play you Tinko, Tinko. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna ever busy your polio. Yeah. Baby girl, let me be your provider. Say, baby, let me be your shelter. I wanna be there to cover you. Baby, let me be your muscle. I wanna be there to fight for you. I will never fall your hand, and I will never break your heart, baby. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured me. Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see her? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Ooh, do. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Do, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, baby. Make we push this COVID-19 away, far away.
Everybody got to realize it. For this life, now one life we get up. Everybody got to realize for this life, you don't get to duplicate. You don't get to duplicate. Keep to the rules and regulations, yeah. Stay for your house, oh, make you know they go out, oh. Now for your good, the government just pass that law, oh. Now for your good, make everybody they safe, oh. Stay house, make you know they go out, oh.
Make you know they go out, oh.
For this time, Corona no get friend, oh.
You don't get friend, oh.
Stay house, make you know they go out, oh.
Make you know they go out, oh.
For this time, Corona no girlfriend, oh, 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 oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. Keep it good hygiene. Oh, oh. Make you day your house, oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house for the better. Make we stay house for the better. Everybody, everybody, everybody stop waka waka. Oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better. Everybody, everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better, it go better. Oh. Corona never get the cure. Everybody make you sanitize. Corona, it no be our friend, yo. Oh yeah, keep a distance. Oh yeah, stop to the waka, oh yeah. Sanitize your hand, sanitize your social distancing. 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. You wash your hand. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, sanitize. Social distancing. Social distance. Keep it good hygiene. Wash your hand well. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, sanitize. Social distancing. Make you cover your nose. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, sanitize. Social distancing. 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh.
This is brought to you by the Nigerian News and sponsored by Patriots Club of Nigeria.
It's ODJB. ODJ on this one, yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh. Quick, Oreo, you're busting my brain, Jaja. The way you're busting my brain, no girl can correct it, no way. Yeah. When you touch me, you spin my world around. I'ma get double everything where you carry for body, oh. Baby, let me be your shoulder. My love is guaranteed. When I pull you closer, it's like falling in love again. Oh, baby, you did do me, Jaja. Oh, baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. That's why I kept falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over and over again. Falling in love. Like play. Sometimes I go run away. And when I run away, I go jump heavy, go babe. Yeah, when they hook me for nego, I go run, come back again. Down on my knees, baby, I know go do it again. No way, the kind of love that you show to me, no other girl can love me the way you love me. You love to do me, Jaja. Oh baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. Oh, over and over again. I just wanna keep on falling, yeah. Over and over again. Baby, you know that I wanna keep on falling for you, yeah. Over again. I just wanna keep falling in love. I just wanna keep falling in love with you, baby. Over and over again. Baby, you know I wanna keep falling in love with you. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I And I keep on falling for you. I just wanna keep on falling in love with you, baby. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. I just wanna keep falling in love with you. Oh, DJ is falling. Baby.
As we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, younger or older, we stand as an indivisible unit like atoms. We stand for what we have left is our right, our plight to elevate to greater heights. Touching the sky, we take flight, not to be out of sight, but in our might. So in the pitch of dark, we are a pinch of light, illuminating the night, for sight will remember us having foresight. Built from a dream, standing supreme, we are a team that beams. Even when the odds are looking slim, turning our losses to wins. As we stand together from around Africa, we speak Africa with the heart of a champion, as it is in our black heritage, to create the new Africa from past Africa. As we stand together, knowledge has no barriers, for we have conquered our fears, shifted gears to plunge further in every sphere, piercing the chest of the future like sharpened spear. We stand together to weather the storm, to be reborn, sprouting like germinated seeds of a corn, to reform a generation like the signal sound of a horn. That though by history we are torn, but what's a rose stem without thorns? We take turns to have our history spun from a conundrum of hearts beating like a talking drum, talking from words inscribed on our minds' tabloids. We stand together as African patriots.
It's ODJ Biz. I feel too mad for you. Yeah. I feel too crazy for you. Baby, girl, I promise you my heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I promise you my love. Oh, oh, baby, I wanna share my life with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to give my heart to you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, little family, now you be the one, now you be the one, no. Oh, little family, you be the one, no. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna ever play you Ojoro. I'm not gonna ever play you Tinko, Tinko. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna ever busy your call, yo. Yeah. Baby girl, let me be your provider. Say, baby, let me be your shelter. I wanna be there to cover you. Baby, let me be your bosom. I wanna be there to fight for you. I will never fall your hand, and I will never break your heart, baby. Can you feel feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you captured me. Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see her? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Ooh, do. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Do, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, make we push this COVID-19 away, far away.
Everybody got to realize, for this life, now one life we get, Everybody got to realize, for this life, you no get to duplicate, Keep to the rules and regulations, yeah. Stay for your house, make you know they go out, Now for your good, the government just to pass that law, Now for your good, make everybody they safe, Stay house, make you know they go out,
Make you know they go out,
For this time, Corona no get friend,
You no get friend,
Stay house, make you know they go out,
Make you know they go out,
For this time, Corona no get friend, Sanitize your hand, social distancing, keep it good hygiene, make you day your house, Sanitize your hand, social distancing, keep it good hygiene, make you day your house, Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house for the better. Make we stay house for the better. Everybody stop waka waka. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better. Corona never get the cure. Everybody make you sanitize. Corona, it no be our friend, Oh yeah, keep the distance. Oh yeah, stop to the waka, Sanitize your hand, social distancing, 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. You wash your hand. Make you day your house, Sanitize your hand, social distancing, keep it good hygiene. Wash your hand. Make you day your house, Sanitize your hand, social distancing, make you cover your keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, sanitize your hand, social distancing, 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house.
This is brought to you by the Nigerian News and sponsored by Patriots Club of Nigeria.
It's ODJB. ODJ on this one, yeah. Yeah. Oreo, you're busting my brain, Jaja. The way you're busting my brain, no girl can correct it, no way. Yeah. When you touch me, you spin my world around. I'ma get double everything where you got it for body, oh. Baby, let me be your shoulder. My love is guaranteed. When I pull you closer, it's like falling in love again. Oh, baby, you did do me, Jaja. Oh baby, oh, you love to do me, Judge. That's why I kept falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over and over again. Falling in love. Like play. Sometimes I go run away, and when I run away, I go jam heavy, go be. Yeah, when they hook me for neck, I go run, come back again. Down on my nails, baby, I know.
My name is Josephine Paul. Susan Achin.
Yao Bremen, Jude Ojima Audu.
Second Zilang.
Richard Bassi.
Ekanem. I am Messi Joe, and we are
African Patriot on African Patriot Radio.
So it's another exciting episode right here on the game show on African Patriot Radio, and of course I'm going to be your host today. Justin Paul is my name, and of course I have wonderful gentlemen right here in the studio ready to play the game round session today. Moses and Yo, how you guys doing?
Fine. For me, I'm doing great, fantastic.
Of course.
I'm kind of like happy that we got to settle all our differences before you brought us in finally.
Do we have a difference? Do we have anything to settle? Okay, but just put that aside. Are you ready for the game show today?
Am I ready? I mean, this is my first time. But
this is your first time, and I'm so honored to have you right here do this game show with me.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Moses, how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Are you ready for the game show today? Of course. Have you been following lots of our game shows, like the previous ones we had?
Well, I think just one. The one you had, Elvis, and then this other guy. I'm trying to remember his name.
Okay.
Well, it was quite interesting.
Yeah, it's quite interesting. And the games, of course, it's just so interesting, and it's just to build up your intellectual self. You get what I'm saying? So right now, it's about that time where I get to start the game show, and the title of this one is called the 5 in 5. If you've been following our game show previously,
5 in 5.
Yes, 5 in 5. So this one is you have to list or state 5 things in 5 seconds for me. And then secondly, we'll play the blot the answer game, where you have to answer the questions to what I'll read out to you. And then the third one is the mirror game. Are you guys ready?
Okay.
All right, so this is going to be, I have Team Yao and Team Moses. So to everyone listening and to everyone watching, they will have to know their team, where they stand for. So if you're either on the team Yao, you're the team's or Moses team. You guys are ready? Are you?
Yeah, I mean, for me.
Okay, I want to see that whole. I want to see that whole vibe and ginger. Like, if people are watching you right now, of course the game has not started. Like, let them just know that okay, they have to be on Yao's team or they have to be on Moses' team. Yao, if you're ready, I want to see that move right now. I want to hear that sound. Like, make some noise if you're ready for your own side.
What?
Moses, if you're ready for the game, I want to see that whole move vibe. Yeah. All right, cool, interesting. All right, I'm starting with the 5 in 5. It's quite as simple as, let me say.
Okay.
It's quite my thing. It's one of my favorite games. All right, I'll start with Moses.
Okay.
Moses, are you ready?
All right.
So it's 5 seconds for you to state out whatever I'll give to you in 5 seconds.
Okay.
All right, so guys, be on the wave and drop your comments or drop your answers if you get to know any question I'll throw out to you. Any answer you put there, you could just drop it down on our social media handle. Moses, all right? You ready, right?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Pick a number from 1 to 6.
Okay, number 4.
Number 4?
Yeah.
Okay. Number 4, your question is, I need you to list out 5
5 crawling. Are you there?
Yeah.
I need to list out 5 crawling insect. Your time starts now. You have 5 seconds to list out 5 crawling insect.
Okay, we have the ant, we have the millipede, we have centipede, we have...
Time up. You have ant, millipede, centipede, you said.
Yeah.
So that was 3 insects you mentioned. And you have 5. You had to answer 5. You were supposed to answer 5. Give me list 5 things. So you listed only 3. So that's half point for you, Moses. Well done. Well done, Moses.
I'll do better.
Are you ready for this?
Okay.
I need you to list out 5 male names that begins with letter J. Your time starts now.
Jacob Joseph Johnson, Jude, Jide.
Correct. Nice one. Jacob Johnson, Jude, Jide, and Jide. Right? That's what you said. The point there for you. Nice one. You can see how the game is so easy. So number 3 and number 4 has been taken. So you have time up. Oh my god.
Oh my god, I'm so ashamed of myself.
Come on. You didn't think of anyone. There's one is very popular, one is very common. You even eat it. Hey. But it's okay, that's no point for you over there. So 5 birds that can fly. We have ostrich, we have peacock, we have hen, we have duck, we have penguins. All right, so that's no point for you there. Yow.
Crest.
A point for you there. Okay, so the last question, you have only question number 6 for you, Yao.
Okay.
Question number 6, Yao. I need you to list 5 precious stones. Your time start now.
Gold, diamond,
time up.
Really?
Yeah. Gold and diamond. It's 5 seconds. Come on, guy. You have to list 5 things in 5 seconds. Okay, so you guys have actually come to the end of 5 in 5.
Okay, 5 in 5.
Yeah.
So
just calm down. Take a deep breath because you're moving over to the next one with no time wasting. You know how we do it over here. Okay, so over to the next game. Blot the answer.
Okay.
Blot the answer. Are you ready to blot out answers for me? Let me see how intellectually sound you are. Yow. On the air, you're squatting. What's that position you take when you sit on the air? So you got only 1 correct answer, Moses. So a point for you there. All right, so that was blot the answer, and that was 5 in 5. And if you were actually on, if you joined us just now, we just rounded up the 5 in 5 and the blot the answer, and we'll be back to take the mirror game. Do not go anywhere. Drop your messages, drop your answers via our social media handle. Patriot. How's it been so far? You're 5 in 5 and the blot the answer.
Well,
how you feeling?
A little bit tense.
You're feeling tense.
But at the same time, kind of like enjoying the show.
You have to enjoy it. Moses, how you feeling?
A little bit down.
Why?
Because he's losing.
No, he's not losing. Don't be surprised.
Well,
next game, I actually put him to the top. So come on, do not give up, all right?
I got some stuff.
We're not done.
Yeah, you got some stuff.
Come on, I love that energy. All right, so moving over to the mirror game. This is not so hard. You just have to use your head. You have to be very clear. So this is how it happens. You said EP. R-C-E-M-E-P. That's what you said. There are 2 R's. So you didn't put the R before the A. Perfect. So I would give you a half point because you almost got that, but that was not correct.
Don't worry, I'm trying.
I'm still trying to think.
You have to calm down and make sure that you're going to say the words correctly. All right, moving over to you, Moses. Are you ready?
Yeah.
I need you to spell the word purple from the back. welcome back to the game show, and it's been such an exciting one right here. And I've got Yao and Moses on the hot seat. Yao, how you feeling?
I mean,
I'm asking you that question right now.
It's quite
It's
hot.
hot for you.
It's hot, very hot. I'm not
Moses,
smiling.
how you feeling?
I think I'm.
Obviously, you can see his teeth are all out. So Moses is happy.
Really, you're happy, right?
Yeah, I am.
All right, interesting. So, guys, it's been an amazing time right now, and it's so hard for me right now to announce my winner. It's about that time. All right,
So soon.
What? It's so soon, right? Take a deep breath. Breathe
Like
in
I'm praying seriously,
and breathe
but
out
I
right
really
now.
want to win this.
To win this. Okay, so Moses, you had. It was hard for me to calculate, but you were doing well at the mirror. Well done. I have to applaud you for that. Your mirror, you had the highest point on the mirror game. Yao, you had the highest point on the 5 in 5 game. I had a plus for you there. And with the whole score, my winner on the game show is no other person. Well, Yao, would you let me do this right now? Okay, it's about that time where I get to announce my winner with no thing stopping me back right.
I feel like a champion.
Okay.
I mean, y'all have to stand up for the
How was the game so far? How was it?
Everybody stop waka waka oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better oh. Corona never get the cure. Everybody make you sanitize. Corona, it no be our friend, yo. Oh yeah, keep the distance. Oh yeah, stop to the waka. Oh yeah, sanitize your hand. Social distancing, 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. You wash your hand. Make you day your house. Oh, sanitize your hand. Social distancing. Keep it good hygiene. Wash your hand well. Make you day your house. Oh, sanitize your hand. Social distancing. Make you cover your clothes. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house. Sanitize your hand. Social distancing. 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house.
This is brought to you by the Nigerian News and sponsored by Patriots Club of Nigeria.
It's ODJB. ODJ on this one, yeah. Oh, yeah. Quick, Oreo, you're busting my brain, yeah. The way you're busting my brain, no girl can correct it, no way. Yeah. When you touch me, you spin my world around. I'ma get double everything where you carry for body, oh. Baby, let me be your shoulder. My love is guaranteed. When I pull you closer, it's like falling in love again. Oh, baby, you did do me, Jaja. Oh, baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. That's why I kept falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over and over again. Falling in love. Like play. Sometimes I go run away. And when I run away, I go jam heavy, go babe. Yeah, when they hook me for nego, I go run, come back again. Down on my nails, baby, I know could do it again. No, we won't. The kind of love that you show to me, no other girl can love me the way you love me. you love to do me, Jaja. Oh baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. Oh, over and over again. I just wanna keep on falling, yeah. Over and over again. Baby, you know that I wanna keep on falling for you, yeah. Over again. I just wanna keep falling in love. I just wanna keep falling in love with you, baby. Over and over again. Baby, you know I wanna keep falling in love with you. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I just wanna keep on falling in love with you, baby. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. I just wanna keep falling in love with you. Oh, DJ is falling. Quick.
As we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, younger or older, we stand as an indivisible unit like atoms. We stand for what we have left is our right, our plight to elevate to greater heights. Touching the sky, we take flight, not to be out of sight, but in our might. So in the pitch of dark, we are a pinch of light, illuminating the night, for sight will remember us having foresight. Built from a dream, standing supreme, we are a team that beams. Even when the odds are looking slim, turning our losses to wins. As we stand together from around Africa, we speak Africa with the heart of a champion, as it is in our black heritage, to create the new Africa from past Africa. As we stand together, knowledge has no barriers, for we have conquered our fears, shifted gears to plunge further in every sphere, piercing the chest of the future like sharpened spear. We stand together to weather the storm, to be reborn, sprouting like germinated seeds of a corn, to reform a generation like the signal sound of a horn, that though by history we are torn, but what's a rose stem without thorns? We take turns to have our history spawn from a conundrum of hearts beating like a talking drum, talking from words inscribed on our minds' tabloids. We stand together as African patriots.
It's ODJ Liz. I feel too mad for you. Yeah. I feel too crazy for you, baby. Girl, I promise you my heart. Yeah. And I promise you my love. Oh, baby. I wanna share my life with you. Yeah. I want to give my heart to you. Yeah. Oh, little family. Now you be the one. Now you be the one. No. Oh, little family. Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured captured my heart. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna ever play you Ojoro. I'm not gonna ever play you Tinko. Ooh, yeah. I'm not gonna ever busy your call, yo. Yeah. Baby girl, let me be your provider. Say, baby, let me be your shelter. I wanna be there to cover you. Baby, let me be your muzzle. I wanna be there to fight for you. I will never fall your hand, and I will never break your heart, baby. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it, girl? Can't you see her? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Ooh, do. Can't you feel it? Can you feel it? Can't you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Do, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, baby. Make we push this COVID-19 away, far away.
Everybody got to realize it. For this life, now one life we get. Everybody got to realize. For this life, you don't get to duplicate. You don't get to duplicate. Keep to the rules and regulations. Yeah. Stay for your house, oh, make you know they go out, oh. Now for your good, the government just to pass that law. Now for your good, make everybody they safe, oh. Stay house, make you know they go out, oh.
Make you know they go out, oh.
For this time, Corona no get friend, oh.
You don't get friend, oh.
Stay house, make you know they go out, oh.
Make you know they go out, oh.
For this time, Corona no get friend, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing, keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing, keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house for the better. Make we stay house for the better. Everybody stop waka waka, oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better, oh. Corona never get the cure. Everybody make you sanitize. Corona, it no be our friend, oh. Oh yeah, keep the distance. Oh yeah, stop to the waka, oh yeah. Sanitize your hand, social distancing, 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. You wash your hand. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing, keep it good hygiene. Wash your hand well. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing, make you cover your keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing, 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh.
This is brought to you by the Nigerian News and sponsored by Patriots Club of Nigeria.
It's ODJB. ODJ on this one, yeah. Oh, yeah. Quick, Oreo, you're busting my brain, Jaja. The way you're busting my brain, no girl can correct it, no way. Yeah. When you touch me, you spin my world around. I'ma get double everything where you carry for body, oh, baby. Let me be your shoulder. My love is guaranteed. When I pull you closer, it's like falling in love again. Oh, baby, you did do me, Jaja. Oh, baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. That's why I kept falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over and over again. Falling in love. Like play. Sometimes I go run away. And when I run away, I go jam heavy, go be. Yeah, when they hook me for nego, I go run, come back again. Down on my nails, baby, I know could do it again. No, we won't. The kind of love that you show to me, no other girl can love me the way you love me. You love to do me, Jaja. Oh, baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. Oh, over and over again. I just wanna keep on falling, yeah. Over and over again. Baby, you know that I wanna keep on falling for you, yeah. Over again. I just wanna keep falling in love. I just wanna keep falling in love with you, baby. Over and over again. Baby, you know I wanna keep falling in love with you. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I just wanna keep on falling in love with you, baby. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. I just wanna keep falling in love with you. Oh, DJ is falling. Quick.
As we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, younger or older, we stand as an indivisible unit like atoms. We stand for what we have left is our right, applied to elevate to greater heights, touching the take flight, not to be out of sight but in our might. So in the pitch of dark we are a pinch of light, illuminating the night, for sight remember us having foresight. Built from a dream, standing supreme, we are a team that beams, even when the odds are looking slim, turning our losses to wins. As we stand together from around Africa, we speak Africa with the heart of a champion, as it is in our black heritage, to create the new Africa from past Africa. As we stand together, knowledge has no barriers, for we have conquered our fears, shifted gears to plunge further in every sphere, piercing the chest of the future like sharpened spear. We stand together to weather the storm, to be reborn, sprouting like germinated seeds of a corn, to reform a generation like the signal sound of a horn. That though by history we are torn, but what's a rose stem without thorns? We take turns to have our history spawn from a conundrum of hearts beating like a talking drum, talking from words inscribed. We stand together as African patriots.
It's ODJ, please. I feel too mad for you. Yeah. I feel too crazy for you. Baby, girl, I promise you my heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I promise you my love. Oh, oh, baby, I wanna share my life with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to give my heart to you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, little family, now you be the one, now you be the one, no. Oh, little family, now you be the one, no. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna ever play you Ochoro. I'm not gonna ever play you Tinko, Tinko. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna ever busy your call, yo. Yeah. Baby girl, let me be your provider. Say, baby, let me be your shelter. I wanna be there to cover you. Baby, let me be your muzzle. I wanna be there to fight for you. I will never fall your hand, and I will never break your heart, baby. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you captured me. Oh, yeah. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see her? Can't you see, baby, you captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you captured my heart. Ooh, do. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Do, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, make we push this COVID-19 away, far away.
Everybody got to realize it. For this life, now one life we get, oh. Everybody got to realize, oh. For this life, you don't get to duplicate. You don't get to duplicate. Keep to the rules and regulations, yeah. Stay for your house, oh. Make you know they go out, oh. Now for your good, the government just to pass that law, oh. Now for your good, make everybody they safe, oh. Stay house, make you know they go out, oh.
Make you know they go out, oh.
For this time, Corona no get friend, oh.
You don't get friend, oh.
Stay house, make you know they go out, oh.
Make you know they go out, oh.
For this time, Corona no get friend, oh, 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 oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing, keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing, keep it good hygiene. Oh, oh. Make you day your house, oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house for the better. Make we stay house for the better. Everybody stop waka waka. Oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better, oh. Corona never get the cure. Everybody make you sanitize it. Corona, it no be our friend, yo. Oh yeah, keep distance. Oh yeah, stop to the waka. Oh yeah, sanitize your social distancing. 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. You wash your hand. Make you day your house. Oh, sanitize your hand. Social distancing. Keep it good hygiene. Wash your hand. Make you day your house. Oh, sanitize your hand. Social distancing. Make you cover your nose. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house. Sanitize your hand. Social distancing. 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house.
This is brought to you by the Nigerian News and sponsored by Patriots Club of Nigeria.
It's ODJB. ODJ on this one, yeah. Oh, yeah. Audio, you're busting my brain, Jaja. The way you're busting my brain, no girl can correct it, no way. Yeah. When you touch me, you spin my world around. I'ma get double everything where you carry for body, oh. Baby, let me be your shoulder. My love is guaranteed. When I pull you closer, it's like falling in love again. Oh, baby, you did do me, Jaja. Oh, baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. That's why I kept falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over and over again. Falling in love. Like play. Sometimes I go run away. And when I run away, I go jam heavy, go babe. Yeah, when they hook me for neck, I go run, come back again. Down on my nails, baby, I know could do it again. No way, the kind of love that you show to me. No other girl can love me the way you love me. You love to do me, Jaja. Oh baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. Oh, over and over again. I just wanna keep on falling, yeah. Over and over again. Baby, you know that I wanna keep on falling for you, yeah. Over again. I just wanna keep falling in love. I just wanna keep falling in love with you, baby. Over and over again. Baby, you know I wanna keep falling in love with you. I wanna keep on falling for you, babe. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I just wanna keep on falling in love with you, baby. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. I just wanna keep falling in love with you. ODJ is falling. Baby.
As we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, younger or older, we stand as an indivisible unit like atoms. We stand for what we have left is our right, applied to elevate to greater heights. Touching the sky, we take flight, not to be out of sight, but in our might. So in the pitch of dark, we are a pinch of light, illuminating the night. For sight will remember us having foresight. Built from a dream, standing supreme, we are a team that beams. Even when the odds are looking slim, turning our losses to wins. As we stand together from around Africa, we speak Africa with the heart of a champion, as it is in our black heritage, to create the new Africa from past Africa. As we stand together, knowledge has no barriers, for we have conquered our fears, shifted gears to plunge further in every sphere, piercing the chest of the future like sharpened spear. We stand together to weather the storm, to be reborn, sprouting like germinated seeds of a corn, to reform a generation like the signal sound of a horn, that though by history we are torn, but what's a rose stem without thorns? We take turns to have our history spawn from a conundrum of hearts beating like a talking drum, talking from words inscribed on our minds' tabloids. We stand together as African patriots.
It's ODJ Liz. I feel too mad for you. Yeah. I feel too crazy for you. Baby, girl, I promise you my heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I promise you my love. Oh, oh, baby, I wanna share my life with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to give my heart to you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, little family, now you be the one, now you be the one, no. Oh, little family, now you be the one, no. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna ever play you Ojoro. I'm not gonna ever play you Tinko, Tinko. Ooh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna ever busy your polio. Yeah. Baby girl, let me be your provider. Say, baby, let me be your shelter. I wanna be there to cover you. Baby, let me be your bosom. I wanna be there to fight for you. I will never fall your hand, and I will never break your heart, baby. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured me. Oh, yeah. Can't you feel it? Can't you feel it, girl? Can't you see her? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Ooh, do. Can't you feel it? Can you feel her, girl? Can't you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Do, baby, you've captured my heart. Oh.
Everybody got to realize it. For this life, now one life we get, oh. Everybody got to realize. For this life, you don't get to duplicate. You don't get to duplicate. Keep to the rules and regulations, yeah. Stay for your house, oh. Make you know they go out, oh. Not for your good, the government just to pass that law, oh. Now for your good, make everybody they safe, oh. Stay house, make you know they go out, oh. Make you know they go out, oh. For this time, Corona no get friend, oh. You no get friend, oh. Stay house, make you know they go out, oh. Make you know they go out, oh. For this time, Corona no get friend, oh, 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 oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. Keep it good hygiene, oh, oh. Make you day your house, oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house for the better. Make we stay house for the better. Everybody, everybody, everybody stop waka waka, oh. Everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better. Everybody, everybody stop waka waka. Make we stay house, it go better, oh. Corona never get the cure. Everybody make you sanitize it. Corona, it no be our friend, yo. Oh yeah, keep the distance. Oh yeah, stop to the waka, oh yeah. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. You wash your hands. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. Keep it good hygiene. Wash your hand well. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. Make you cover your nose. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh. Sanitize your hand, social distancing. 6 feet away. Keep it good hygiene. Make you day your house, oh.
This is brought to you by the Nigerian News and sponsored by Patriots Club of Nigeria.
It's ODJB. ODJ on this one, yeah. Oh, yeah. Huh. Oreo, you're busting my brain, Jaja. The way you're busting my brain, no girl can correct it, no way. Yeah. When you touch me, you spin my world around. I'ma get double everything when you carry for body, oh. Baby, let me be your shoulder. My love is guaranteed. When I pull you closer, it's like falling in love again. Oh, baby, you did do me, Jaja. Oh, baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. That's why I kept falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. Falling in love with you over and over again. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over and over and over again. Falling in love. Like play. Sometimes I go run away. And when I run away, I go jam heavy, go babe. Yeah, when they hook me for nego, I go run, come back again. Down on my knees, baby, I know could do it again. No, we won't. The kind of love that you show to me, no other girl can love me the way you love me. You love to do me, Jaja. Oh baby, oh, you love to do me, Jaja. Oh, over and over again. I just wanna keep on falling, yeah. Over and over again. Baby, you know that I wanna keep on falling for you, yeah. Over again. I just wanna keep falling in love. I just wanna keep falling in love with you, baby. Over and over again. Baby, you know I wanna keep falling in love with you. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I wanna keep on falling for you, baby. I just wanna keep on falling in love with you, baby. I just keep on falling in love with you over and over again. I just wanna keep falling in love with you. Oh, DJ is falling. Baby.
As we stand together, shoulder to shoulder, younger or older, we stand as an indivisible unit like atoms. We stand for what we have left is our right, applied to elevate to greater heights. Touching the sky, we take flight, not to be out of sight, but in our might. So in the pitch of dark, we are a pinch of light, illuminating the night. For sight will remember us having foresight. Built from a dream, standing supreme, we are a team that beams. Even when the odds are looking slim, turning our losses to wins. As we stand together from around Africa, we speak Africa with the heart of a champion, as it is in our black heritage, to create the new Africa from past Africa. As we stand together, knowledge has no barriers, for we have conquered our fears, shifted gears to plunge further in every sphere, piercing the chest of the future like sharpened spear. We stand together to weather the storm, to be reborn, sprouting like germinated seeds of a corn, to reform a generation like the signal sound of a horn. That though by history we are torn, but what's a rose stem without thorns? We take turns to have our history spun from a conundrum of hearts beating like a talking drum, talking from words inscribed on our minds' tabloids. We stand together as African patriots.
It's ODJ Liz. I feel too mad for you. Yeah. I feel too crazy for you, baby. Girl, I promise you my heart. Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I promise you my love. Oh, oh, baby. I wanna share my life with you. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to give my heart to you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Oh, little family. Now you be the one. Now you be the one. No. Oh, little family. Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you you've captured my heart. Oh, eh. I'm not gonna ever play you Ojoro. I'm not gonna ever play you Tinko. Ooh, yeah. I'm not gonna ever busy your call, yo. Yeah. Baby girl, let me be your provider. Say, baby, let me be your shelter. I wanna be there to cover you. Baby, let me be your muscle. I wanna be there to fight for you. I will never fall your hand, and I will never break your heart, baby. Can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured me. Oh, can you feel it? Can you feel it, girl? Can't you see her? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Yeah, baby, you've captured my heart. Ooh, do. Can you feel it? Can you feel her, girl? Can't you see it? Can't you see, baby, you've captured my heart. Do, baby, you've captured my heart.